welcome to CFW West, man. Am I excited to be here? Your host, Kushari, joining me in the analyst desk, the man of the hour, Penguin, my very close friend IRL as well. How are you, Penguin?
I'm all fine. How about you?
I'm good. Are you excited to be here?
Yes, I'm excited as well for the West League Season 2, especially that we have spicy things coming
up. A few things have been shuffled around, which we're going to get into later on. But right now, I just want to, welcome everyone back and the new people from the audience as well. We're in Season 2 already, and this is going to be, it's getting spicier because we're getting closer to the regional qualifiers,
Exactly.
Points are accumulating. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. Season 2, you're getting closer. As you can see, we are starting the regular season on May 30. Until we reach to the playoffs, which is on 19th of July, the day where everybody is waiting for. So, what do you think?
I mean, speaking of my experience from last season and being a host, man, time flies. And during that time, if you're not tuned in, you're going to miss out on so much, to say the least. These are some top teams competing neck to neck, as I always say, and everyone wants a piece of the cake. Everyone wants to qualify, not just the prize money. They want to reach playoffs, they want to win playoffs, and they want to secure enough points, just like ROC and Anubis did last season, to qualify.
As you said, the playoffs was very, very surprisingly for us. ROC came on top. Anubis did a very, very good show on the last playoffs, and now we are back on West League Season 2. So the format, as you can see, it's the same as the last season. First seed is going to be playing against the fourth seed. Second and third seed is going to be also playing for the grand finals. All the games is going to be best of 5. And then we have the losers, which is third and fourth, to determine who's going to be the third of our West League.
Yeah, and I can't wait. And I'd like to play a little game with you later on. We're going to write down our own predictions as to which teams we think are going to be securing these 4 spots. I can't wait till we reach that state. But let's talk about this later. Tell me a little bit about the map changes.
Yes, we have a new Mexico 2.0, which is like been a bit around for a while in the game. Now it's competitively inside the scene now, and I guess it's gonna make us feel more comfortable watching this map, because Mexico was so globalist map. Now it's like more into balanced map, and it's very good. The textures has been different. The lineups for smokes, flashes, stretches is completely different because of the new Mexico.
I
see. I'm very, very excited to see the teams who's going to be playing this map. I'm pretty sure it's going to be kind of banned for a while because teams are not getting used to it, but this might be our surprise for the playoffs. Everybody's going to be preparing this map. They don't want to ban it. They want to surprise us.
Yeah, it could be a wild card. We're going to have to wait and see which teams actually decide to let this map go through. I'm kind of curious as to, will these changes actually impact how the best of 3s and the best of 5s, if they're ever going to get picked out? But is there anything else you want to tell me about this map until we move on?
As I said, this map used to be very globalist-sided map. Now it's more blacklist-sided map. It's more wide. It's more open. You have more lineups, flashes, smokes, nades. You have more room to make setups as a globalist as well. The rotation is not the same. It's a bit they added the pathway for the B side, so the map is completely changed. It's not just a texture change. It's a complete different map. So you need to be more focusing on your strategies on this map. Back on the days, if you go on a globalist side on Mexico, you are feeling more comfortable. But now it's gonna be so hard for you to defend versus such utilities, and also and how much the map is changed in terms of areas. They added more area on it into A side. They added more areas into B side. So it's gonna be completely different.
I got to see this map firsthand playing the game, and I personally think there's way more, I don't know how to say, corners or places that they need to check. But anyways, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. This is the prize pool that everyone is here for as teams. Nonetheless, they want to qualify. But wow, what a number, man. And $56,000 for first place as well. I think the prize pool is pretty substantial,
Yeah, as you said, $56,000. Not only this, look at the total prize pool. It's $288K for the West League Season 2 only, which is very huge, and everybody, all eyes on first place, second place, third place, fourth place. Not only this prize pool, by the way, because usually if you get first place, you're getting points that qualifies you to different tournaments and open you opportunities for better tournaments. When one of them, of course, is the EWC, the World Cup, which is going to be held in August. Also, the CrossFire Stars Path, which is advancing you to the regional finals, regional qualifiers, and to the CFS Grand Finals.
Yeah, what about the teams, man? I really want to look, because this, I see some familiar faces, but I see a couple new ones. Could you elaborate, like, in sequence?
Of course, we have PingPongPals and we have Swamp Gaming. These guys, they came from the CFOL. PingPongPals as the winners of the CFOL first place, and Swamp Gaming, they came on second place in the relegation, so they earned the spots. And we would love to see these two teams because they have a lot of fresh starts, and we want to see how competing our league is and how these guys is gonna be actually competing versus the West League teams.
And are they both considered EU, NA? What do you?
Swamp Gaming is considered as NA.
Okay.
PingPongPals is considered as EU based on the teams. But these guys, they are ready to compete versus the West League teams because they have showed very strong performance on the CFOL.
Yeah, it's their time to shine. What about TBI?
Well, we all know that TBI got third place in the relegation, but due to roster issues, which lead to GV disqualification and the roster submission problems that they had, TBI earned their spot instead of GV, as they were the third place on the relegation. It's very, very sad for GV, but they couldn't apply or abide.
I think I have a new favorite team name, which is InnerCircle. You know, I love that. I love that name. What about InnerCircle, for example?
InnerCircle is the Unknights roster, adding to them also one of the best EU players who came from GV roster, which we just mentioned. They joined them as a more firepower, more rifle player, and also they are having now Kevin, one of the best coaches in the scene. So now these guys are actually locked in.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we know GG. For those of you who didn't tune in, 999, ROC, Anubis, they were all fighting for neck-to-neck previously in the previous season.
Yes.
Now, I'd like to look at PingPongPals, man. What a name. I love it. Look at the team stats, man. Who here should we be looking out for the most, or the top two at least as a team?
Of course, PingPongPals, these are the stats from the CFOL. We would be looking for maybe MKZ right now. We know that these guys have a roster change, by the way. This is the roster that played the CFOL, but then after upgrading and going into the CF West League, they came in with more talented and experienced players. One of the best captains in the region, which is Pietro, who's coming from Unknights, where Awesome replaced him in InnerCircle team. So Pietro is now stepping in with PingPongPals. These guys played the CFOL. Also, talking about Swamp Gaming, this is the roster which played the CFOL, where famous HTZ, Mu, Kaiz and Josh, they showed a very strong performance and they earned their second spot in the relegation, beating TBI in the Grand Finals 3-0. So now also after advancing to the West League, these guys had a change and they went in with bringing Snox instead of Mu, which Snox is one of the best entries in the EU among all times.
Now we see the points, the standings in the points from first season transitioning to the second season. Man, the people who are, or let's say the teams who have between 100 to 150 points, I think are relatively on the safe side if they're between third, sixth, or first, or second, or third, whatever. But the ones who need to climb, it's gonna be TBI, 999, you know, GV and Entropy. I don't see them. So what do you think's gonna happen this season? You know, are we gonna see the same outcomes as last season, or is it gonna be a bit more challenging for the higher teams?
It's going to be more challenging for the higher teams, as I said, due to the shuffle which happened between the teams from the CFOL, which came in and stepped in. Also TBI acquiring FaZe, one of the best snipers in the West League. Not only snipers, one of the best players in the West League, one of the best players in the European roster. So now TBI stepped in. Talking about the other teams, Awesome stepped into the InnerCircle team. Pietro stepped in to bring PingPongPals, because dramatically Pietro's always the guy who's building teams, so he want to be building PingPongPals to be top 4 teams. So it's really going to be challenging season for the top 4 teams, especially we have more players shuffled in and we have more maps, as you saw. So it's going to be very challenging for them.
So there's a lot of elements that have been shifted around. Now I want to talk about game 1. Imagine you're starting off season 2 and you're the first game that's going to debut live. How intense is that, especially for these two teams? You know, like, I'm not saying they're amateurs, definitely not. I'd never discredit them. But when you look at both teams as rosters, who do you think might come out 2-1 or 2-0, for example?
Okay, talking about our first map is gonna be InnerCircle versus 3P, which is PingPongPals. Talking about InnerCircle, these guys are the former Unnights teams. They have Awesome stepped in as well, and they have the same roster usually, so they might be having some changes in the roles, some changes in their playstyle, especially that these guys had Kevin as a coach. But going into PingPongPals, you need to know that PingPongPals have 3 of the core past Unnights players, OG players of Unnights, which is Pietro, MKZ, and their sniper HDZ. These were the legacy and the OG players of Unnights. So it's really a derby between these 2 teams. Pietro wanna be proving himself back in for Unnights, and Unnights wanna prove that this is the future, or InnerCircle wanna prove that this is the future of Unnights. But PingPongPals, they stepped into the play, and they got Pietro as their captain, coach, because he's doing most of the time for the coach for them. So I guess these guys are having everything to compete.
Yeah, I mean, they seem pretty locked in, to say the least. And I have to say it, man. Being from the same country as Alucard is, I love this man. He's always smiling. He's always having a good time. Nonetheless, I'm so surprised how it's going to be played out. If Awesome's playing with the rest of this roster, man, this is going to be a chaotic best of 3.
Yes, as you said, stepping in for InnerCircle, Awesome have a lot to do, and this guy, he shows every time when he's tested, and he's very, very good rifle. They needed an attacker, and here is Awesome for you guys. So, and also, they needed a coach, and Kevin is with them. So, InnerCircle are also locked in, not for top 4, because they were already top 4. These guys are aiming for top 1.
All right, now maps. I'm not gonna mention Mexico. It's Mexico 2.0, but let's see if you're right about if it's banned or not. What are your expectations, though? First,
historically, these 2 teams never met before.
okay.
So you cannot say who's gonna be winning on 100%, but based on the stats and the
Favorite
experience,
maps, yeah.
based on the best experience, players and everything, of course we're gonna go with the InnerCircle. But the maps, I'm pretty sure that New Mexico is gonna be banned. This 100%, and I don't think InnerCircle will be love to play Compound versus Pietro, because Pietro was the engine of Compound.
He's the
Compound
engineer of Compound.
So I wouldn't love to play versus him Compound. So let's see the random picks.
Ankara, Eagle Eye, Black Widow as a decider. Alright, I'm not surprised about the bans, to be honest. We did mention New Mexico. Port kind of makes sense because some of the teams, the players on these teams have had phenomenal performances.
Yes.
Sub-base, very hyper-aggressive offensive map, so I don't think they want that. But tell me a little bit, like, why is Ankara the first pick, you know?
Yeah, InnerCircle, they love Ankara. And also Pietro, he loves Ankara himself, so he's probably been like teaching and learning in Ankara more and the new meta. So Ankara is a very, very, very common map for them to use. As we said, we don't want to see Compound from InnerCircle, as we saw, and PingPongPals didn't want to see Port from the other team. So talking about the bans and picks, it's very basic and very common. There is no surprises.
It's standard, right?
Yeah, there are no surprises in the ban and pick, but
fair enough.
The common maps, which puts more and more challenging for you, because both teams can play these maps.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're both, like you said, they're testing each other. They're picking maps that are favored by both sides, and they're waiting to see what's gonna happen as an outcome. Anyways, without further ado, let's take it to game 1 to our casters, Trav and Pandoxin, please.
Thank you, Kashari. And yes, we're back. We're back for another season. Really looking forward to this. Of course, funny that the way we communicate from our homes to you on the desk, and very, very millions of miles away. It feels like, and it's the only time we kind of connect with each other over the course of the year. But you know what? It's all for a great cause. It's all for a great esport. Honestly, I'm looking forward to it because there's a lot of interesting changes here. I think InnerCircle being involved is fun because I know that organisation from other esports that I'm involved in. So yeah, it's great that they're here. Shame we don't see the Unknights name in CrossFire anymore, because obviously that's kind of a legendary org name. It's been around for season upon season. But they're here. They've taken on the roster, and with some exciting changes, of course, as well, Pando.
Yeah, really, really exciting changes, right? I mean, to be fair, Penguin and of course Koshari, they talked about it a lot, and I'm just very looking forward to this game here because, like they said, they have not really met each other before. Still, they know each other pretty well. So it's going to be Ankara first map. It is 3P's pick, and not sure what to expect here. I'm just looking forward to a very exciting game. And you know what? Eagle Eye as the second map. This is something I didn't really expect at all, but I really like to see it. And you know what? This is the start of the season. Let's go.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. And of course, some very known names between these two, as you said, right? I mean, I think that the one player that I kind of want to keep an eye on over the course of this season is Gainer on PingPongPals.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting this roster to maybe make like a deep push for playoffs as such. I'm expecting them to be maybe a bit of a spoiler across the season, maybe a middle ground team. But Gainer has been such a nuisance for everyone on the previous rosters he's been on over the course of season 1, especially in 2025. So. Yeah, really looking forward to seeing if we can put more of that exciting work into play in Season 2. But anyway, we're getting going in the first round of Season 2. We've already got some action going down here. Gainer will try and hold the line, re-smoke the main choke point. We've got some control outside of that area with the likes of Alucard, but the C4 is going to get pushed through now. And Gainer, I called him out, and immediately he delivered with 2. A nice little transfer when he was kind of half right as well. And now they're going to be pushing in across to the other side of the map, over towards A, through the flank, and Beck gets 2, brings it into another man advantage.
Yeah, someone was ready to go, and Beck responds nicely, still trying his very best to prevent this retake from happening. But look at this, the trades are there. Alucard picks up HDZ now. LSY in a big clutch situation. 15 seconds on the bomb. On the clock, the bomb will get planted though. The clutch in the making here. LSY, what can he do? 1 versus 2 Alucards. Holding the angle there. Jinzer behind the box, doesn't check it. No, Jinzer takes him out. And this is the first round for IC. So surely something we're looking forward to. But let's be real, this is only the first round here. And I feel like, you know, this is a very fast-paced game so far.
That's kind of one of the things that we were talking about last season, right? I mean, I think especially Anubis kind of came into that season and played a much pacier style, which I actually really enjoyed watching. And yeah, that's actually that style in the end pushed them through to that grand final. Only lost in a BO5 final map decider, right? Which was kind of crazy. Incredible performance for them across the course of the season. And of course, we'll see more of them later today. Second round coming in here. InnerCircle already up 1-0. And a nice little pounce there by LSY to remove Jin from the round. Get it back into a slight advantage. And now even better as HDZ delivers. They're going to be pushing forward now. And should be a bit too difficult for them to recover this one in a 2v4. Awesome and Kiko trying to combine. But they're not feeling even comfortable to get the bomb down just yet.
There you go, Kiko swinging around, finds HDZ, but this is only a small chunk of what they need to do here. I feel like Awesome and Kiko, you know, they might have a good chance, but again, there's so much to do. There's like 3 more players they need to clear out, and so far it seems like they just, you know, they chill, they take their time, but slowly but surely wrapping around. But 3P, they have a clue, and Kiko goes down first. Now Awesome in the clutch, takes out 1, takes out no one else. He goes down. And this is the first round for 3P. And you know what? I wanted to talk about this earlier, but Awesome now in a different team, a different environment, you know? It's been a while. Awesome has been in those, let's say, German teams for a long time. Now he is in a, let's say, international team. And you know what? Maybe it is going to be a little bit difficult in terms of, you know, communication, because of course when you speak, you know, your normal language, you know, like German or whatever, it's always easier to, you know, think fast, right? Like, oh yeah, it's this and that. And now he has to, you know, kind of rethink, like, oh, what's the English call, blah blah blah. You know, it sounds easy, but I think this might be a little bit tough.
It's always a good point. I mean, international rosters were never sort of a you know, a common theme in esports back in the day. I mean, it was mostly you know, regional rosters in terms of, you know, a full German team or you know, a full American team or a full you know, Turkish team in various other regions and stuff like that. It would always be one from one country, but yeah, it's a big thing in the modern day of these esports where you get lots more international rosters in play. We'll see how that works out for InnerCircle as we go on. 3P. Good recovery on that second round. I am looking forward to saying PingPongPals more as this season goes on. It's just an enjoyable name to say. HTZ will hold the line. He'll get one, but run down by Jin, and that should be all good. Oh my goodness, there was a body blocking in the window there. Bit awkward with that flash in play as well, but it's not awkward for InnerCircle in this round. Gaimin needs to win a 1v4 with only 30 seconds left on the bomb timer, and I don't think that's going to be happening. He's got multiple angles to worry about as well, which is the worst part. We'll push forward and try and deal with him now, and Alucard, one of the most reliable, consistent players over the course of these seasons, will finish off the third round.
Yeah, much cleaner than you would expect, but yeah, looked good. Wasn't really close in the end there. Of course, Gainer not really able to win that clutch, but I don't think anyone really expected it either way. But so far, I like what I'm seeing, you know? It is a nice combination here. I like Awesome in this mix here again. I have to point him out because, you know, he is a former GV player now in this lineup, and of course, he has some experience playing with the Jinsa in the past, a long time ago, of course, but I think these two get along each other pretty well. Look at this. I see not wasting any time, slowly but surely creeping up in front of A, and it is only going to be Gainer and MKZ holding off this push, but Pietro, he technically has all the information they need. They know, okay, they're not in front of B long at all. Mid is open as well. Look at this back now. Creeping towards Gainer. Is he going to find the first opener they need? And there comes the utility. Here we go. Gainer now in a big question mark. He gets one. Can he find the second? The spray is good. He finds the second. A third. Maybe a fourth. Not this time around. Back clears him out. MKZ there for the trade, and now it's only Alucard left alone versus 4, and this didn't really work out in their favor at all.
Gainer is so damn good, bro. Like, I swear to God, I didn't pick out his name willy-nilly, right? Like, I knew what he did last season, even though they didn't have an amazing season overall when it comes to their final placement. But now he's alongside these boys. I am going to be really curious to see if he can continue on this. It feels like he's the main star player for this roster, and yeah, more holds like that, and he'll be proving my point ever further. Bless him. I appreciate him for that, that's for sure, at the very least. Of course, Pietro on a new roster as well. He's been on that Knights team for so long, and finally moving on to pastures new. Very experienced player, knows what's up. But I do think that Gainer is the main man to watch. Pietro, a little bit unaware of the fact that Alucard is going to be wandering forward. And actually, Alucard will give himself a slight glimmer of hope here. He'll be allowed to get the C4 down. But the problem is he's got elevated angles to worry about, an angle on the left to worry about, and an angle on the right to worry about. And HTZ will not allow him to do any more than just the plant. So, good recovery once again by PingPongPals, and we're even at 2 apiece.
Yeah, I see you like that name a lot, huh? Yeah, nice spread tip from Gainer. Gets free, almost a fourth as well, but of course back there to help his friend out. But in the end, doesn't really matter. 3P, they take this one in fashion. And you know what? I like what I'm seeing. This is very strong from both teams, of course, but overall, like you mentioned, Gainer, he's really stepping it up for his team. So, what is there left to say right now? I feel like so far, it's kind of, you know, even, let's call it even. It's, you know, back and forth, of course, but obviously I saw someone earlier in the chat, they said this Unnights versus Unnights, which I thought was kind of funny because it's kind of true. I mean, obviously Pietro, like Penguin said, he is the engine, especially on compound, but right now, Pietro, 0-3. Not having the best performance so far, but it's very early on in this game. And look at this, Pietro. This is your chance. He's not being cleared, but it doesn't really matter. But Jinsa takes 2 of them on.
Yeah, that's one Pietro should have definitely gotten. Maybe he needs to get a bit of choke on there on the engine to get a cold start going. Kiko will find one more, and that will allow him to get a 2v1 in this round. I think they're very much aware where MKZ is coming from as well. Good swing from Awesome. That is the power you've got with this guy on your roster these days for the likes of InnerCircle. And expecting good things from him over the course of the season. Now, as you say, in pastures new. Lots of switch rounds. I mean, in the couple of seasons I've covered the CFWL, they've been pretty much same old in terms of the rosters. This particular season here feels like, to me, even like putting the org change to one side and, you know, minus on Knights plus InnerCircle, there's an incredible push there. Works out for a couple of kills. Awesome, great tap. I'll actually get back to my point in a second because he's actually being pressured at the moment, but I think he's being left to his own devices. But yeah, I think it's the season with the most exciting and not random, but different changes for quite a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And as we talk, Awesome and Jins are not wasting any time pushing towards A here, securing the bomb site, and of course HDZ and LSY already close to prevent this plan from happening. Look at HDZ. I like this positioning here. It's very dangerous. He picks Awesome here. Good for one. Makes things a little bit more winnable in his favor. Look at Jinso here. Trying to get away in peace. He will get away though. Not even close. LSY and HTZ now in the clutch. They need to do something. I think as soon as they find Jinser, things will get a little bit easier. But Alucard with the cross there, he's not able to get anything done from his position. Now Jinser left alone.
Nice.
LSY, what is he doing? He's so sharp. Crazy guy.
That really was a great example of kind of gauging where those last two players were playing from and just committing to those angles straight away. I mean, already at the beginning of the round, they played on the front foot, as you can see, very early with that peeking toward mid. Awesome did his best with that beautiful jiggle tap, but HTZ can't sort of underestimate the role he plays in that round. That fact he's able to get one and fall back gives LSY a chance to make that play at all.
Well, let's talk about the past for a second. So, PingPongPals in the playoffs, they played 3-0 versus XXX in the semifinals and 3-0'd Swamp Gaming in the grand finals. Obviously, a little bit of a different roster back then, but still a very outstanding performance in my opinion. So, PingPongPals, even though their name is funny, you know, you kind of have to respect them because obviously they have strong players on the lineup. You know, they're ready to go. They're not wasting any time. I mean, honestly, this is a very close matchup. And once again, you can see everyone is creeping up in front of Gainer. Back takes him out. No time wasted at all. And now they have to take the bomb set here. And look at this. Everyone is grouped up. Ooh, this looks a bit awkward. Pietro not really able to find anything from his position, but you have to give it to him. It's a very difficult spot to play, especially when it's smoked off. And now Beck will get the bomb down. HTZ not really able to find anything from his position. And actually, correct me if I'm wrong, but Beck goes down. And now it is almost an even retake. Look at this. HTZ will get the flash ready to go. Awesome. With a good angle here. Can he get anything done from his position? He gets flashed. He's so blind still. Takes out LSY. Swings around. Finds a second. Can he find a third? He will.
How does he manage that then? That is crazy. I mean, the retake was always going to be unlikely despite that great pick from HDZ from range. Using that little boost plat area to get a kill. Right, that one right there. And then Awesome, well, this is what they've signed him for, right? To make plays like this, to feel confident about going for it as well. What a brilliant hold. And, yeah, I think this is a very competitive game thus far. Very back and forth. Enjoyable to watch. Gainer had that hot start, cooled off a little bit since, as I mentioned. He's a little bit more here. Pietro will get one and get traded immediately. And you're absolutely right with what you mentioned earlier. Like, the pace really is pretty high. There's not much waiting around early round here, which is quite often the mark of these particular games in this league. But pace has been turned up recently, and as you can see there, HDZ will get run down by Kiko. And as they recovered it into a 2v2, they've got a free site. And now the retake for Gainer MKZ will be coming in.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, in my notes, I have a thing that says PPP will play very slow, and maybe that wasn't really true. I mean, this is very fast so far, and I like it. It's a very fast gameplay, but I don't know. I didn't really expect that at all, especially with Pietro. But I guess it doesn't really matter. Kiko takes out MKZ Alucard, finds Gaimin as well, and yet another round to IC here. And you know what? I feel like awesome in the last couple of rounds. Maybe new team, new confidence. I don't know, but I don't feel like he played the same way in GV. But you know what? It doesn't matter. Right now, he's on fire.
Good opening for Jin as well. I mean, this is where InnerCircle start to create a little bit of a gap. Pietro has gone for a couple of these opening aggressive plays, and they've worked on 2 occasions. Unfortunately, he's been caught off quite often. Not the man on the team that they necessarily need to be the one fragging hard, but still, 2 and 8 isn't the best. Oh, good pick. Good response to get it back into a 4v4. Have to make those moves when you're in a disadvantage. Try and recover that situation, and that's what you get with a player like HDZ. He's got 10 kills on the board now, currently leading in the server alongside Awesome.
Oh yeah. Pietro right now having a hard time, 2 and 8. And, well, it could be worse, I guess, but so far he's having a hard time for sure. But one thing I also want to mention, Gainer, be careful. Ooh, boy. Back now in the leader row, they have a little bit of a change there, of course, with Pietro not there anymore. I feel like, they changed Pietro to gain more firepower, and right now I would say this is definitely the case. But is it going to be enough in the end? And you know what? I feel like we are going to find out on the second map on Eagle Eye, because Eagle Eye tends to be that that map that no one really wants to play. But look at this Jinsen, not wasting any time rushing in. He's a little bit blind though, but it does not matter. Finds Alice way through the box with the M4 anyway. Spams some more, will not find anything. MKZ in a weird position, picks Awesome. What a sharp shot! He gets a second. And there's Gainer to help him out as well. Now Beck left alone with the arm in hand, spotted out as well. Bomb is dropped. Time is not on his side either. This is just falling apart right now.
Yeah, not this time. Not this time. PingPongPals will not let InnerCircle get too far clear. And now we swap sides, of course. In-game leading. Beck, as you say, experienced player. I'm sure learned a lot from teammates he's played in the past. Learned a lot from Pietro. As you say, maybe not many roster changes have happened with this team for a little while. But I'd imagine at this sort of level, a lot of players do contribute ideas. Might not be the deady in-game leader, but would contribute ideas across games that are tough or close and stuff like that. So we'll see if Beck has got what it takes over the course of the season, or if they do kind of switch it around a little bit. We'll have to see. I expect that not to be the case. I expect him to stick with it. Now we have a quick push into, oh my goodness, into what A. Very pacey. Kiko does well to find one on the defense, to be fair, before Gainer will frag him, and there's Beck. Now he's ready and raring to go. Jin may have been found, but they're in a 2v3 right now. And they need to find a way to pick up the bomb and get it planted. It's pretty awkward at the moment. They're going to be able to get it down now, and InnerCircle will give them the respect to do that and play retake.
Yeah, 3P definitely not wasting any time, quickly with the push towards A. Now the InnerCircle need to retake the bomb site. Some flashes being thrown. There you go. Eventually they have to go in. The timer is ticking down. Awesome, the first one to jump in. Can you find anything? MKZ trying to prevent this Awesome from pushing, but doesn't really matter. HDZ picks him up as well, and the trade is there as well. And bomb will get defused. Beck gets it done. And you know what? It looked a little bit shaky for a second there because Awesome, he jumped down. But in the end, the InnerCircle, they get it done. And, you know, I feel like when it comes to the InnerCircle, they kind of rely on the individual skill and, you know, the experience, of course, because, you know, don't get me wrong, 3P is probably like, they're also very experienced, right? But on the other side, you know, the InnerCircle, they have so much, you know, when it comes to the experience. So I feel like when it comes to these close situations like we just had in this, you know, in this retake, they might be more chill when it comes to that. Look at Baku and KZ.
Perfect.
That was not really ideal for him, though.
Yeah, perfect crosshair placement there. Just double scoping in when he saw the little jiggle. And yeah, I mean, like, I think the one thing that is going to be really interesting for InnerCircle is if they can make that playoff push once again, as they've been so consistent on doing, but then go that one step further, maybe contend for the title. Because they've seen what Anubis have done, of course, over the course of the season, of last season, and they want to be able to do that themselves. Kiko will manage to leap his way down and hold the line with 2, but Gainer will trade it. So again, they're a pick down in this round in a 2v3, but they have a glimmer of hope. Let's see if they can recover it. Bomb will go down on the back of Pietro. If there was one time for him to step up, it would be now. Spotted out as they prepare for this retake. 3 coming in from the flank, all 3. In come the flashes to try and send a couple of players in. Gainer, shoulder peek, we'll see the information. Now we'll go for a swing, but immediately taken. Now Pietro needs to do something a little bit special. The positioning is good, and he will find one, but there's 2 other angles to worry about, and Beck takes his time, gets the kill. And at the moment, InnerCircle are doing some great work with these retakes.
Yeah, for a second I was believing. You know, I saw Pietro picking up the first player, and I was like, huh, okay, yeah, maybe. But then, yeah, well, never mind, I guess. But yet another great retake from the InnerCircle. 7-4 is the total score, and you know what? Still, I want to, you know, shout out Gainer and HTZ. They really put up these numbers. You know, they're really trying their very best to keep this one competitive, and it still is. Don't get me wrong, but the numbers speak for themselves. I mean, look at Awesome. Look at Beck. Look at Alucard. Kinda. I mean, yeah, he has 7 kills, but he has some great openings as well. So I would say right now the InnerCircle they're having a good time and they're really confident overall. And 3P, they need to step it up a little bit more to keep this one close. And once again, you can tell everyone is kind of all over the map. This time around, it is a little bit slower than usual. You know, not the instant, yeah, let's just go and kill everyone. And as I said that, they are already once again grouping up in front of A, and seems maybe not. Maybe it's more like a split push. I can't really tell what their plan here is, but look at Jinser ready to go, lined up. He will go for a little peek, spots HTZ, gives the information to his team. Now, will we see a rotation from the InnerCircle? Doesn't really seem to be the case. The push comes through. Gainer finds Kiko there. There's a second for him as well. Now, Kiko and Jinser are down. The clutch will need to come through. Awesome and Alucard. A 2 versus 5 situation. Alucard already good for 1. Takes out Pietro, but there's so much more to do. 35 seconds on the bomb down. What can they do from this position? It's a really tough gas, and Awesome is already going down. HZ picks him up. Now Alucard in this clutch. A very tough one. Not very ideal to happen here. And you know what? It is a round for 3P.
Yeah, that's an expected one in the end, considering the way they started the round, the way the round started, of course, as well, for InnerCircle. This sort of awkward situation for them, losing a player early. Never easy to come back from that, even though it was a 4v5 for a while. So hopefully we'll get everyone back in and sorted very soon. And, yeah, I think the recognition from PingPongPals when they saw that being the case, just making sure to press the issue very early. Probably made the right move on that one for me. And yeah, it worked out in the end. Of course, reminder, this is the first of 3 BO3s we've got for you today. Later on today, we're going to have Anubis versus TBI. That should be a clean win for Anubis, knowing how they performed last season. TBI, of course, only really getting into this league once again on a technicality. They had a very, very poor season last season. Much below their normal performance, which is usually middle of the board. And then the final game of the day, 999 versus SG. 2 rosters, obviously, that I've seen a little bit of in the past, but I haven't seen Swamp for a little bit. So looking forward to seeing them getting back into the action. And, of course, 999 Panda? Has a lot of your German boys on it now?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, to be fair, 99 and Swamp Gaming is probably the matchup I'm most excited for, because Swamp Gaming, obviously, they advanced out of the Open League, and obviously I got to know everyone from the Swamp squad last year at the CFS. So yeah, I'm just very excited to see them play. But to be fair, there's so much more before we come to that. And Anubis and TBI, like you said, I feel like this is going to be a less interesting game, if I'm allowed to say it, because I feel like Anubis Gaming, they had such a great performance last season, and on the other side, TBI, of course, they weren't the worst. You gotta give them that. They had some great performances as well. But in the end, again, the numbers, they matter, and I just don't know. We will see when we cross that bridge. But now we are still here, 3P, and of course the InnerCircle. It is 7-5. And the InnerCircle, of course, is leading by 2 rounds. So let's see. Once again, this is a much slower round from 3P. But as I said, look at this. They are creeping towards mid here. Can they find anything? No one is really close. It's only Alucard, but Alucard is holding the lower tunnel there. Awesome. Is timing right? If the timing is awkward, he might get picked off, and this is the case. HTZ takes him out.
That is frustrating. And there's a way back into this game now for 3P. See what they've got. InnerCircle need to have someone go above the Call of Duty to recover this round, it feels like now. They've got 3 gravitating over toward A. Problem is, look where HDZ is on the map right now. He's right behind enemy lines. I think they're aware of that possibility, but we need to hit some insane shots to recover this one. Alucard will get 1 and push forward for the second. Love that. That's initiative. And that is what I love to see from Alucard. Tries to go in for more, but Gainer will best him on that occasion. But that work from Alucard is enough to recover what is a 3v3. And over toward B, as I said, was kind of left a bit more open than A. So Alucard kind of had to do that. Now the quick retake will come through. They try and go for the push while they're occupied with planting the C4 and repositioning into after plant positions, and they will not allow PingPongPals to do that. That's a good way of going about it. And InnerCircle stabilize.
Yeah, you gotta love the confidence from Alucard, right? I mean, he is one of the best cold players I ever seen in Crossfire, right? So this guy, he's from a different world, really. Like, as soon as he picks out, he picks the cold, I'm like, okay, this is going to get very interesting in a very short time. But yeah, this is what it is. Another round for the InnerCircle, and this time around, look at 3P, look at this push. I like what I'm seeing. It's only Gainer towards Belong here, and the rest, look at this, they're uncontested. No one has even seen them. It's going to be Alucard. He's not ready for this. He gets picked, and of course, this opens up the bomb site B. I don't feel like the InnerCircle was ready for that at all. HTZ, good for another one, takes out back, and this is all falling apart. Chico not checking the right corner here. Jinsa now trying his very best to, hold on, but not a single player from 3P goes down, and this was a very strong push. But of course, they have to say, the InnerCircle, they were kind of expecting an A push, and this didn't really work out at all.
The thing is, for PingPongPals in that round, right, it's a wonderful call. You can tell it just everything slots into place brilliantly. They get behind enemy lines very quickly and win the round as comfortably as they have in the whole game. But the issue with that is, while that was a brilliant call, that's not exactly replicable over the course of the half, right? So if they to do that again, you'd think that InnerCircle would be ready for it on the second occasion. So, and it being 8-6 is 2 away from map 1, it might be a little bit more awkward to have time to come up with different things like that. We'll see though. It's a great round for the PingPongPals. I like a bit of ping pong myself. Bit of table tennis. Played with many friends over the years. I like to think I'm decidedly average, but it's all good. Jin will hold the line. He's going to get 2. That's really, really well played. They take a bit of extra time to finish him off as well. Pietro only just managed to grab it. Alucard still waiting from range. Like we saw HDZ get his pick earlier. And Kiko still being a nuisance behind the back of the site. He'll go down, but Alucard will get his pick from that long-range angle. And now Gainer is going to have to clutch. Unfortunately, he'll only get one, won't be allowed to. Awesome will run him down. And so far, the performance from InnerCircle is quite a well-accomplished one.
Around that, yeah.
خلاص
Samani, صح؟
سامع.
Well, you know what they say, right? As soon as you start playing ping pong, you kind of have to mention that you haven't played it for a while, right? So that's the number one rule. But anyway, let's go back to the game. HCZ picks back, great starts. But obviously LSY very, well, barely alive, really. Look at Awesome here, like this. He's really just staring through the smoke. You can kind of smell Gainer in the corner there, but no, not this time around. It's all good. Nothing has happened, but well, what can we say? So far in the InnerCircle, they have shown that they are, very capable of, winning those close rounds. And 3P, like we saw, I think it was round 13, they're kind of, let's say they have some nice plays as well. The mid push from 3P when they went through middle and you had one towards Belong. That worked out great, but you also have to say, it only worked out because the InnerCircle had the missed call, right? So still, this is a very competitive game. I like what I'm seeing. Kiku and HDZ, they're having a little dance right there. And this time around 3P, they are stacking towards B. Finally something else. Alucard will go down. Not even a challenge for them. And now this opens up the bomb site B for them. The retake will have to come through very soon. Awesome. Kiku and Jinsa not really able to do anything from this position. MKZ and HTZ, they hold down the GR site here with Fashion. Now Awesome left alone in the clutch. What can he do? He's one of the most experienced players here in this game. He picks off MKZ, but what can he do? 3 more players to go. 20 seconds on the bomb timer. Awesome stalling a little bit, waiting for anything. He wants to get peaked, but no one is really peeking, and time is still running down. Pietro finally gets it done.
Yeah, it was a really nice little jiggle back and forth there from Pietro. He's crossing in the right place for either plan, either position, either line. And even though Awesome tried his best, he was getting back into that site. They've been exchanging rounds throughout the majority of this second half. Not many streaks really coming into play for either team. And yeah, it's you think InnerCircle will find a way to close it out, but it's not been a embarrassing performance from PingPongPals by any stretch of the imagination. I have enjoyed how they've played. I have enjoyed some of their pacier ideas. I've enjoyed some of their specific calls that have completely exposed the InnerCircle defense. So even if they do end up losing this one, I would be expecting a this sort of level over the course of the season to do them good. This is the second InnerCircle timeout, I believe, and I think the first one might have been a tech, because of course we had a player drop. This one might be a bit of attack, I'm not so sure. But yeah, I think once we get back underway, if we keep exchanging rounds like we have been, then InnerCircle should get it done. Beck, we need you. Come back.
Come back? Okay. Well, anyway, yeah, as we, watch some of these player cams, we actually get to see nothing, because there's no talking going on at all, which is surprising. I mean, whenever there's a break happening or whatever, it's sometimes they just don't talk at all. I mean, maybe there's nothing to talk about. Maybe everything is working out fine, but nothing, like nothing at all, really. Like when I'm in this situation, I would be like, yo guys, what's up? How do you do it? Like something, right?
I'm not listen. I'm not gonna pretend that I'm familiar with the rule book here. But in other esports, if it's a tack, you're allowed to speak. Obviously, if it's a tech, you're not allowed to speak. I don't know if that's a rule in place here for the CFWL. I've got absolutely no idea. I'm not gonna pretend like I do. But historically, in other situations, like you can talk about other things that aren't involved with tactics, but you're not allowed to talk about tactics during a technical. So I mean, as I say, not sure if this is a tack or a tech, but either way. That tends to be the way things go down, but no clue if that's the case here. Anyway, They're only a few seconds away from getting back into the server. Beck is back.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, we are just about to hop back into the game, and you know what about the rule? I don't know. I'm not aware, but I know at CFS they have this rule, but not sure if that's the same in the West League here. But doesn't really matter. I think everyone is ready to go. Everyone's just staring at the screen, ready to go, and well, it is. You know, in those kind of situations, you get to talk a little bit more about these teams in you know, some details, right? So far, 3P, I would say they're a good roster. I like what I'm seeing. Like you said earlier, it's still very competitive, right? No one is really, you know, falling too far behind. Obviously, the InnerCircle, they're in the lead right now by a couple of rounds, but still, I gotta give it to both these teams. They look very, very good.
You know, over the course of the season, seeing how InnerCircle grow with this change of course with Awesome in play, and not that it should change much, but also under a different org for the first time in a long time. Who knows? Maybe that'll change a few things in terms of the support they get from like backroom staff, or even those, you know, little bits and pieces like that have kind of been brought up on the desk too. So we'll see if that transpires into a better performance over the course of this season too. And knowing, of course, that it's very important as well with the points on offer for future qualifications. Anyway, we've got another chance here for InnerCircle to close this one out. Get map 1 in their favour.
And yet again, you see the InnerCircle stacking towards A. I think it's the right call, right? Because, you know, 3P kind of tends to do, you know, they kind of go for these quick A pushes, but hasn't really been the best decision like all the time. HTZ, ugh, a close one here. Didn't really shoot at all, but I imagine still it wouldn't have been a close shot regardless. And look at this. I like this aggression here by Jinser and Beck. But is he going to spot anyone? He gets a couple of shots done. He gets all the attention from these 3P players, but not the end of the world. And of course, Jinser, he gets a lot of info too, because he knows, okay, they're towards mid here. They might go for another B hit, and this is the case. Beck now in a lot of trouble. Can he get anything done? He gets one. Pietro goes down, and so Kiko finds LSY as well, and this is slowly but surely falling apart. Awesome, with a good swing here is traded out by HTZ, but now Gainer and HTZ left alone in the clutch. Gainer finds Kiko as well. This is a very winnable situation, but Jinser instantly there to trade him out as well. Now HTZ against 3 people here. Time is ticking, 20 seconds on the board. I like this, but the timing is off. Beck will get it done.
Yeah, impressive. I think that's a really clean start from the boys on InnerCircle so far. I think even that round there, right, a little bit of information gathering by Beck and Jin over toward the other side of the map, right? They gathered that there was nothing there, really, not really any noise being made, no utility being thrown as such. So immediately rotated off, and that put them in good positions to hold off that particular strategy choice from the PingPongPals. So yeah, I think that was a good call, and I'm looking forward to seeing if they can put more of that into practice, of course, over the next map in this series, and of course the rest of the season, because I'm expecting quite a lot of good things from InnerCircle. When it comes to PingPongPals, I don't think they should be upset about that first map. I don't think they played badly really at all. There weren't any significant glaring errors. I think overall I was quite happy with the some of the strats they made work for them in the second half in particular. I mean, as I said, there was one round where they just read InnerCircle like a book, had the perfect play, but, you know, InnerCircle, as I said, adjusted to it, and you can't repeat that same play every round, because that's kind of what happens, right? Anyway, enjoyable. We'll send it over to the desk, though, to analyse what we have just seen.
The table tennis, we call it here table tennis
Yes.
in Egypt. Anyways, take it, run us through first game. I think InnerCircle's coming in really strong.
Yeah, as you said, and already Kevin work is being showed.
Showing,
These
yeah.
guys, yeah, these guys are checking, getting information. They're playing very well. They're playing with the meta, stacking aside. PingPongPals, as Trav said, they shouldn't be upset from the first map because they played really well. Okay, they lacked some experience calls, and this is actually normal because
It's
you guys are
common.
coming from the CFO, like trying to compete versus the CFWL team. So it's kind of, you're not going to be competing 100% from first game. So they played really well. InnerCircle, they had some issues in some of the parts of the map, but in the end, these guys played very, very well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just like you said, the competition is fierce, but that doesn't mean that they're not competing, right? The
Yes.
score was pretty close, to say the least. Here we're watching some of the highlights from both teams, but nonetheless, I really love watching this deadly trio. And you know which one I'm talking about, of course. The Genzer, Alucard, Kiko. I love that trio. It's phenomenal. It's exceptional to observe, to be honest, because the more you pay attention, the more you realize it's always these three who are usually the surviving players on InnerCircle's side, and the ones who actually manage to utilize the communication that the casters did highlight. They're communicating fairly well, and even if there is a trade, that doesn't mean they're willing to throw the round.
Yeah, exactly. Especially that the guys are playing together for a while. They know how everyone is playing. They know their weaknesses, their strength points, and I guess InnerCircle, they haven't showed everything still, but
100%.
still the experience. I want to talk about Awesome as well. This guy, he's stepping up to the play since game one. This is his first game with this roster, and he's still popping off, getting the kills that's needed, and also the clutch that's needed from his side. Kiko as well is stepping up. Alucard, as usual, he's one of the most consistent players and snipers in the region, and he's still hitting these shots. So InnerCircle roster are now close to be complete, and they have everything for them to win the league. And the coach work, as you said, is showing, and everybody can see how these guys elevated their team play into good strategies that makes them win round and clutches the most at the time.
Yeah, makes sense. Everything you highlighted, I agree with. And I don't want to forget the little bet that we're going to have, you know, seeing
Yes.
who are going to be the top four based on some intelligent guessing, to say the least. I don't know. I'd like to ask you, do you think this is going to go 2-0? I don't think so, to be honest. Just like you said, InnerCircle hasn't shown all their cards, but that doesn't mean the other team hasn't either, you know?
As Trav said, the guys should not be upset, but if they have some mental breakdown of the map one, especially that they throw a few of the rounds. We've seen the first round, it was 4v2 for PingPongPals, where Beck came in the lurking from the CT, killing 2 and clutching the round for his teammates. So if they keep the composure ready, I guess we can go for the third map. But if not, InnerCircle, they're gonna be ready to close out the map. And as we can see the stats, as I said, Beck played very, very well. These guys, the entry now of InnerCircle, Alucard as well, Awesome, Genzer, everybody is on the board. Not like PingPongPals, we have Pietro, MKZ. We are still wanna be seeing more of these two experienced, strong players. They are one of the oldest players and OG players in CrossFire, so they shouldn't be upset, but still, we want to see more from PingPongPals. We want to go to map 3. If these guys keep their composure and tempo, as you said, we can go to map 3 definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly early in the season and it's game 1, right? So even if you lose game 1, it doesn't mean it's over. And I don't think PingPongPals, it's such a tongue twister.
Yes.
I don't think PingPongPals are gonna, like, you know, give up without a fight. Definitely, I'd like to see Petro stand up a bit more, because he had a very nice lurk. I think it was in round 8 or 9, where he flanked the entire team and secured 2 kills and managed to secure the site within seconds. Didn't give InnerCircle a chance to even react.
Yeah, exactly. Especially that he's now the IGL of also PingPongPals, so he has a lot of on his shoulders, and he needs to show more to his teammates. And PingPongPals, this is their first West League team, first West League match versus one of the strongest teams, which is InnerCircle. So if these show strong fights, this can build up confidence for them and let them move on to compete versus all the other teams. I'm not gonna be saying all the other teams which is in the middle table, but not top 4 team, which are we expecting, of course, InnerCircle to be one of the top 4 teams. So PingPongPals are having tough start versus InnerCircle, but it's still InnerCircle, one of the top 4 teams.
Yeah, it's a tough draft in general, right? To be going up against InnerCircle for the first series, but I think it's actually good for PingPongPals because if they manage to not make this a best 2-0, then they're gonna make a statement for the other remaining teams and show them that like we're here to compete. We can face to face against InnerCircle and possibly even win a game or two. You know, even if the gap, I think it was 10-7, like that's not a big gap like we saw in season 1 where some of these teams were going 3-10, 2-10. You know, so it's something I'd like to observe, and I think the viewers do as well because it's an intense match. You can tell it's back and forth, especially the first 10 rounds was almost equal.
Yeah, exactly. All the teams who are coming from the CFOL, especially the first game, they usually struggle a bit versus the other guys. The experience, the amount of experience and time and effort versus such teams. Coming here in West League, facing InnerCircle first, it's a tough situation for you. But PingPongPals, they put one leg into the league now, and they played very well. Despite the some mistakes that we have said, maybe some lacking of individual skills from the team, but on the other hand, InnerCircle, the guys are all on the board and ready, and they are working so hard for these moments. So I guess InnerCircle is actually showing a bit step up from the season 1.
Yeah, and I think, as you said, InnerCircle is a bit more experienced in this category of competitiveness, but that, to say the least, I think Petro can do a good job in leading PingPongPals to at least top 4 this season. I hope so. Anyways, let's take it back to our casters for game 2.
Thank you, Kashari. Yeah, PingPongPals, playing purposefully, but, when you're going up against the force of InnerCircle, you can't really expect too much of them, especially it's quite a new composition of the roster as well. There's players, of course, who've got plenty of experience of playing with each other, but, as you say, different leadership as well. So it's going to be curious to see how they do across the course of the season, but that's what makes it, of course, so interesting. InnerCircle in a great position, seemingly, again, also learning their way through with Beck as a captain, like you mentioned, Pando, right? So I'm looking forward to it because I think with InnerCircle, they just got these players that are such stalwarts of the league, right? I mean, Alucard, he doesn't necessarily pop off every single map. He's not got the most consistency out of anyone in the league, but he's always there for an important single clutch kill, an important pick at some mid-round moment where that recovers it into a 3v3, which gives his team a chance to retake or something like that, right? And when you have a player like him on your team, sometimes that is just impossible to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when it comes to Alucard, this guy can be absolutely clutch, right? Especially with the cold out. Hey, 1 versus 5, I give him a chance. Obviously it's very unlikely for him to win this one, but still, I would say Alucard is one of these players where you give him, the benefit of a doubt, I guess. But now we are going to Eagle Eye, which is one of my favorites because, Eagle Eye is always so funny to watch. I really appreciated that they picked this map this time around. And of course, it is InnerCircle's pick, so not sure what to expect. I mean, obviously, they're very experienced, every single player. They're really ready to go here. And for 3P, obviously, it's not a complete new roster, right? But still, I feel like this is going to be a very tough game for them.
Yeah, I mean, Eagle Eye actually... it's one of the maps which I've actually had like more least experience of covering as well, because it's one of the ones that isn't really necessarily always a hard pick for some teams. That was the same case for Mexico, and probably will be the same case for Mexico going forward, as that's our new version of the map, obviously. Eagle Eye is always a bit goofy to watch because it's very wide open. The map's a little bit different on the radar as well, so. To take that into account for teams and how their rotations are, it's always quite interesting. But the fact that we actually are just going, picking into it if you're InnerCircle does make me, I could say, confident in them, knowing what they've got planned on it, right? Unfortunately, we're straight into the action here, and we haven't seen every single kill, but we have seen that LSY has got 3 in total. Gainer and Pietro get a kill apiece as well. And that will be the way they will start this one. InnerCircle, I think, just getting caught early, really. It's one of those rag dolls planking in the air as well. We love that. Always shows how strong they can be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And look at this InnerCircle not wasting any time. Gainer picks up 2. Awesome there with the trade. But will it be enough? Awesome with the second kill. Now looking for the bomb here. He will eventually get it down. There you go. The bomb has been planted. And now this is a retake situation for 3P. And it hasn't really been like 30 seconds. So a very, very fast start into the round here from IC. But now 3P in this retake situation. I wonder what their approach here is, and it seems like they want to group up towards mid here. Yes, slowly but surely they will, and look at MKZ is so far away. He needs to get something done from his position. 10 seconds on the board, guys. You need to go. LSY finds Alucard. Pietro finds Jinsen. Now Awesome trying to get the clutch down. Is he actually going to make it? I think he has time. Yeah. He has time. He gets the defuse, and Pietro saves the day here. Crazy.
Oh, that was so close. Goodness gracious. Gaimin did a brilliant job at the beginning of that round there. He found 2, and he pretty much got his second kill the same tick of the round that he died. Like, it was instantaneous. And that proved to be critical in the end. Made that retake, obviously, a lot more difficult. But as InnerCircle did push their way through and get a couple of kills. But even though the retake was difficult, they managed to figure it out just with about a second and a half to spare. So a good start to map 2 here for the PingPongPals, and I get the impression that they are not going to be put off by how map 1 went down, because they didn't play that badly at all. It was really one big advantage that they had that they kind of lost. Gainer not aware of Awesome being so far forward though, and Pietro goes for a little jiggle in mid, and he'll get caught by Alucard. So immediately a response here from the team who should be considered the favourites.
Yeah, and they're not even done yet. I mean, look at this. The kill feed all over the place. Kiko now wrapping around LSY here. They will get the kill done. HDZ left alone. Hello there. Awesome. We'll find them as well. And this time around, a much stronger round from the InnerCircle. But to be fair, I feel like 3P was a little bit too aggressive here. I'm allowed to say it, I'm not sure. But either way, it is a round for the InnerCircle. And again, remember, this is their map pick, so you would expect them to be more dominant on this map. But you know what? Right now, 3P, they look so strong. They're not even done yet. Look at this MKZ, good for 2 in the very beginning of the round. He's even looking for more. Alucard trying to get some redemption, but again, this is what I mean, right? Yeah. Alucard, he's like, yeah, you know what? Let me pistol this guy, and instantly gets it done, you know? So again, 3P, strong start, and the InnerCircle, they look like they're shaking a little bit.
Yeah, Alucard had to make that move, otherwise that opening 2 from MKZ would have gone unpunished. So it's a good grab, and Jin has spotted out a bit more information as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to be rotating back across middle. But I don't really think there's much progress InnerCircle can make unless they find a pick from somewhere. And so far, 3P have everything covered.
Yeah, it gets very quiet every now and then. This is what I like about Eagle Eye, right? The map can be very, let's say, small, even though it isn't, right? But it can be very small here and there. But now,
it's GR-sided or opposite?
It's tough for me to tell, to be fair. Some people would probably like, of course it's GR side or whatever, but I just don't know. I don't know. So right now I would say I give the GR side a little bit of the upper hand, to be fair, but I'm not sure. So either way, it is a back and forth right now. Alucard picks up Gainer, of course, gets the trade done. Look at this, HDZ. What a sharp double kill here from this guy. He's not wasting any time. And again, 3P with another strong round. And right now they look like, you know, the stronger team on this half at least.
Oh, immediate 1-for-1. Again, he delivers HD, but Alucard will stop him. And this time, Jin doesn't give Gainer any opportunity to deliver anything. Pietro, thankfully, is in the right position to immediately trade that. So very fast beginning of the round again. These two teams are playing pretty pacey in both maps, to be fair. So we've got a 3v3. We've got an after plunk situation coming in. We've got InnerCircle actually kind of needing this round, even though they're only 1-3 behind. It's going to be a really important one to take. Alucard can't really afford to go down here, but Pietro's putting him under a lot of pressure. That's why it has gone down there, so that relieves that pressure ever so slightly, and Alucard is wasting so much time. Getting 1 is enough. He's done a good job there, and Pietro was low HP, so it's an easy finish for InnerCircle in that round.
Yeah, I mean, that play by Alucard, that was like textbook, right? I mean, He stalled out to push perfectly, even got a kill there as well, so gotta give it to him. Beautiful play. Well, in the InnerCircle, they respond nicely. Alucard already good for one, and again, we have to take a good look towards Alucard because this guy is on fire right now. But Pietro on the other side, of course, as well. 5-2, a much better start into this game in comparison to last game as well. So, Jinza. Oh, did he spot him? Not sure though. Awesome. Comes in, helps him out. They will get it done. MKZ will fall. And again, I like what I'm seeing. This is a very close matchup. And look at Pietro wrapping around. Are they aware? He gets one. It's not going for a second. I like this decision. Play it safe. Go back. And now, awesome. Hello. Gainer not ready for that one. I mean, not really ideal for them.
No, a little just spin there to react to his push. Gainer again being pretty aggressive. I understand why in that scenario, but caught off by Awesome. And now Beck will run down HTZ. It's all down to Pietro. They now know where he is. But he's got no option of cutting off the C4 in any way. That's already off toward B and in good time. And the long-range line will be held by Jin. InnerCircle now seeming like they're a little bit more in control of this one. Nice to see InnerCircle, of course, involved with CrossFire. I mentioned, of course, it's an org involved in a couple of other esports. So, yeah, I think even though our Knights were a name that's been involved in the league for quite a while, it's nice to see these new orgs sort of working their way into a different esport and showing willing to support the esport as well.
I feel like Pietro had to be upset there. I mean, he wrapped around, he got a nice kill from the back, and Gainer, he should have known. I mean, Pietro was already going back, and he kind of jumped into the action there from the bridge position, and Awesome with the clean kill onto him. Really nice, but again, not really worth it in the end. So I feel like if Gainer wouldn't have done that mistake, maybe the round could have been, you know, a lot better for 3P, but obviously we don't know that, but that's just my assumption. So yeah, not the end of the world. Of course, it's a little bit upsetting, but yeah, look at the score. I mean, 3-3. We are break even right now. We have a little bit of damage towards Awesome and a little bit of damage towards HTZ. Not the end of the world. And once again, we are in a situation where everything is very quiet. No one is really doing too much. Some utility being thrown, but look at this. I like what I'm seeing. Now the aggression towards A will come through. A lots of smokes. There's little vision. Look at this. What is this? They go towards B all of a sudden. I like this. Awesome. Good for one with the tracer. Good. Awesome. Another one. But another one by LSY as well. So the break even point is there. But look at this. He's good for 3. Can you find the fourth? It's only Alucard. I like this positioning here. Alucard now in a tough position. He has to find 3 kills all by himself, already being spotted, but he called us out. Not this time around. LSY, what a strong, what a strong kill threat from this guy right here.
Pietro getting loud as well. A big come on. Good to see him getting the troops rallied as the new captain for this team. And yeah, that was a great round from LSY. He's up to 12-4, by the way. Having a fantastic map so far. And that was a really sort of weird round overall, I feel like, for InnerCircle there. Because they kind of made a significant decision to go quick toward one side of the map. They got blocked off by smokes and were made an on-the-fly call to cancel and go elsewhere. And at one point it looked like it might work. But in LSY, he said no.
Well, once again, we have a little bit of a group going on in front of A. Oh, look at Gainer. He's literally right beside them, right? So, Gainer, what can he do from his position? It seems like he gets one, but will be traded out instantly. HTZ finds back as well, so a strong start. And look at this, one by one they find these players. And Awesome, I gotta give it to Awesome, man. This guy is so sharp with the AK. I mean, again, in comparison, I feel like he wasn't that strong on GV, or maybe it didn't really point out like that. But right now, Awesome is really hitting those shots. But again, like you mentioned, Pietro is also really stepping it up, but is it going to be enough in the end here? MKZ with a good position. I like this. He's not being spotted at all. He knows where Alucard is. He only needs to find awesome Italy. Look at that spin. Look at that spin. He made it look easy. Look at his face right there. He was really happy with this one.
That's huge. That keeps him in control of the half as well. I think that, I would say, is a underrated clutch there from MKZ. Keeps InnerCircle at bay. And of course, this is the map that InnerCircle are happy to go in toward. Let's see. Winning some of these important rounds, these unexpected rounds, which could really make the difference as we get into the late game.
One thing I want to mention is that Penguin said that 3P is playing against, one of the top 4 teams, which I absolutely agree with, but not too sure where I have to rank 3P, because obviously they have experienced players, they have strong players as well, but not sure, obviously it's a tough matchup against the InnerCircle, no doubts, but I still feel like 3P, they can be one of the, let's say competitive teams, but they have yet to prove it. Obviously, it's the second map in the season, so there's still so much they have to show us. But look at this, and you can see, I like this, the aggression is good, but now he has to back off, he finds one, he doesn't find the second, but the trade is there once again, and I like this aggression here. It's a little bit scary, I would say, but still it worked out beautifully, in my opinion.
They don't need to throw in anything else now. They've got their advantage. They've got their 4v3. And that's why continuing to deliver. And Gainer actually does catch Awesome moving his way forward. So that just relaxes things ever further for the PingPongPals. They're in a great position. LSY will go down this time though. And Jin getting that kill could recover things. And I know where Pietro is, but he does well. Gets himself his 1. Alucard will drop. Jin needs to find 3 players. He's being pinched by 2 of them. Oh my word. Almost got a full lineup for both there. But Gainer does get the kill. And Pals will be delighted with the score they've got on the board in this first half.
Yeah, they almost gave Jinser a good chance to recover this round, but luckily for them, didn't really happen. Look at this aggression by Jinser. I mean, yeah, but wow. I mean, that was confidence if, I've ever seen confident people. But MKZ, of course, takes them out. And look at this aggression once again. 3P now, of course, on the other side of things. I like what I'm seeing. But they're stalling this one a little bit too much, in my opinion. Beck will find Gainer in mid here, and finally the bomb will get planted. A tough retake situation for the InnerCircle, but never say never. Let's see what Beck can do from his position. He will probably be the first one to enter the bomb site here. LSY in a good position with the arm, but the timing might be off. He's blinded by the lights. Doesn't really matter. No one really peeks him at all. Look at this flick. Kiko doesn't even stand a chance. He gets 2 as well. Pietro finished the job, and look at Gainer. How much it means to him. The smile on his face. I love to see it.
This is just a bit of a masterclass for the half, and that's why. I mean, InnerCircle might be the slight favourites, but it doesn't matter when you've got a performance like this coming at you. Look at that. The immediate switch down, the immediate accurate flick. Up to 16 and 6 now with that flick on Alucard at the beginning of the next round as well. MKZ tries to be a little bit cheeky, but even though it does recover it into a 4v4, again, the expertise of LSY deserves to be praised over and over. He's the main man in the server at the moment. Keep an eye on him over the rest of the game. Could have almost a record-breaking performance coming in here. He's got 126 ADR, and we're in the second half. That is huge.
Yeah. It is InnerCircle's map pick, so I'm very shocked what is happening right now. But look at Awesome! Woo-wee! He's ready to go. He picks up 2 all by himself, and now 3P a little bit shell-shocked here. I mean, what was this round all of a sudden? I mean, I wanted to mention how good 3P is playing on InnerCircle's map pick, but all of a sudden, InnerCircle, they turn this one around. Beautifully done. by Awesome here. And of course, the rest of the team also putting up these numbers. And they're not wasting any time. Look at this confidence. The Alucard picks up Gainer once again. Hey, this looks a little bit dangerously all of a sudden.
It's interesting, right? I think, you know, PingPongPals are so happy with how many rounds they got in the first half. It's almost like in the first few rounds of this half, they're being a little bit more, not lazy, but they're being a little bit more carefree. They're being a little bit more aggressive, trying to make a couple of random moves to catch off InnerCircle, knowing they've got some rounds to play with before they start a sort of a slower, more normal style as such, right? So I don't mind that idea, but right now they're getting punished for it. But LSY, whether it's with a rifle or with the sniper, he's just entering for days here. Another opening kill to recover it into 3v3. That's the plant down over toward the beach side of the map. Now a clock above the heads of InnerCircle. They've got a perfect pincer to remove Awesome's rotation. There's no way he was getting through that one. I think they know where Alucard is as well. It's going to be impossible. Smoke's pushed through, but maybe I tell a lie. Alucard does well to find one, and he's found a second as well. Very low HP on Pietro. He's going to tap the bomb, but oh my word, Pietro still finds it. Even though it was one bullet from death, I thought for sure Alucard had won the clutch there. But it's a huge round for 3P.
Yeah, I mean, back and forth all the way. I mean, I like this call by Beck to just go in, find what you can find and go back. It was a really good call, but in the end, 3P, the clutch didn't really work out for Alucard. I mean, hey, this guy was called out. I was about to lose my mind because, okay, they somehow clutched this round, but no, not this time around. And you could tell Pietro was so happy to win this round. I like this energy, this aura this guy has, right? He brings it to the table. Much needed performance from him as well. But Kiko jumps into MKZ here, and once again, so many frags all over the board here. And Alucard now in a tough situation. Can he get anything done here? Not really. Goes down, and once again, the InnerCircle left in a retake situation. I like this tower position, not a very common one, but Beck not really able to find anything from his position. But Kiko spots
Shot.
LSY, he gets it done though, and now there's 2 more players to go.
Yeah, this is a critical retake. They have to win this. It's non-negotiable. Otherwise, this map should be going against them. Gainer's in the open. Should get caught by Kiko. Will be. I think they know where Pietro is playing from. Directly on the bomb. And Beck still waiting miles away, by the way. He knows exactly that he's got Pietro pinned in there. So, critical defuse for InnerCircle. And it makes you think now, right? If that previous clutch went Alucard's way, we're now at, what, 7-6 rather than 8-5. It makes such a huge difference. The fact that Pietro was able to win that, because, you know, we asked for him to step up from map 1 and a bit of a slow game. He absolutely has, and I'm delighted for him in that sense. And they're only 2 away from the map, but InnerCircle will not say die. Immediately a 5v3 with 2 opening picks in this next round.
Yeah, they're not wasting any time. Jinsen not really aware at all. I mean, how could he be? There's a smoke in his way. Can he get anything done? No, not this time around. He will go down. 3P with a quick kill onto him. Some sort of redemption here, but is it going to be enough in the end? So far, I would say it is good to have. And Kiko in the key position here, not really able to get it done as well. LSY takes him out. I mean, this guy has 20 frags. Huge shoutouts to him. He's putting up these numbers for his team. But look at this. The bomb is dropped, and I think they know. And this gives them some advantage because they know they don't have to worry about it too much. Look at this LSY now slowly but surely clearing out the spawn here, and in a couple of seconds they will realize, okay, it's clear, we can't pick up the bomb, but Alucard will find him. And look at this, the skill is so important. Can he get anything more? Beck is there to trade him out, but HTZ as well from the back. Now a 1v1. Awesome versus HTZ. This is going to be interesting though.
Oh, this is going to be pretty fascinating. HTZ had the best of games, but he knows that it doesn't matter if he wins this clutch right here. Oh my goodness. Awesome gets spooked by the dead body on the floor and shoots at a ghost. And I'm afraid to say that's given up his position. Does that mean it's a blessing in disguise, though? Now he knows where HTZ is playing from. So, a standoff. Awesome. Now worried about both these angles. It could be a possibility. With 30 seconds, he kind of knows there's only 2 possible options. It should be a kill. Oh, he's missed the timing, but we'll just flick back in time. It's all good. InnerCircle keep on trucking on this recovery, this comeback. They need it to get this one done in 2. Critical recovery there from Awesome on the rifle. HTZ couldn't get the drop on him, I'm afraid, at really any point in that 1v1.
Yeah, and it seems like we have a little bit of a pause going on, a much needed one, in my opinion. I mean, hey, to be fair, let's rewind a little bit, right? I think it was round 13 where Beck was hard scoping towards the bomb site A, and Pietro was sitting on the bomb, and he knew someone is scoping on him. And I wish to know how many seconds Beck was scoping onto his name, because I know he knew he was there, right? So he was hard scoping all the round long until he eventually got killed there. But for me, it kind of felt funny because he's just like full focus on this guy, nothing else in the world matters. But either way, tech pause is going on, so finally we see some talking here. It feels like it's a much needed break here because PingPongPals, they started off great, but slowly but surely the confidence is falling apart for them.
I wish I had a head of hair like Pietro. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, this is a huge situation now. PingPongPals have got themselves in a very good position through that expert first half, but only one round in the second half, and that was via a very unlikely clutch from Pietro. It looked for sure that Alucard would have the drop on him, being a lot healthier, and Pietro being one bullet from death. The fact that Alucard had got himself onto the site, remember he tapped that defuse, forced Pietro to push forward. Usually that does favour the player who taps it to force out Pietro in that instance, but we'll have to see. Remember, before we had this little tech pause, I think LSY was on 20 kills, as a reminder, so keep that in your head. Remember what he was on. Add that to the next little streak of rounds we're going to have. Awesome. Hard cleared by Gaimin. That's a huge entry. Something to work with now. There's a tech pause, attack, has been thrust in at exactly the right time. And they've been struggling to find progress on the second half. And it could pay off. LSY will go down to Beck, though. Gainer is aware. And Beck is aware of Gainer. But they will manage to fall away. And Gainer's trying to get behind enemy lines.
Yeah, from our POV, Awesome's move didn't really make too much sense, but I bet on Lan he has him, right? On Lan he for sure has this kill, but here I feel like, I don't know, looked a little bit awkward, but maybe it was just our POV. Anyway, LSY, he will go down as well. So right now I feel like 3P is a little bit stalling there because I felt like they had a good run towards A, but then they stall, they fall back, and now we are back to the waiting game. And not sure about the decision making here, but eventually something has to be done. And look at this, Beck is wrapping around, but I think the misstep here doesn't matter. Beck picks one and he falls back. I like this. It's
perfect.
super safe, man. Like, it wasn't even close, and one by one, it is beautifully done by textbook.
That honestly, I can't understate how good that is. Like, first player takes contact on the left, the second player takes contact on the right, and then the next player takes contact on the left again. Like, it's a quite literally, joking aside, a ping pong match against the PingPongPals. They're literally going back and forth with these pieces of aggression or InnerCircle. And once again, they've stopped Gainer from trying to make any progress in the early stages of the round. It's Beck up to 3. Already, to add on to his previous total, of course, have been pretty imperative for InnerCircle. They're within 1 again, and despite the lead that 3P had, they're now under a lot of pressure to get within that 1 of map 2, when always you're 2 away. And it's a bit of a harder job to do, and InnerCircle will know that. You can afford 1 more mistake.
All cards. With the cross here, the trade is there. Instantly, HTZ takes out Jinxa. Right now. Interesting. The InnerCircle decide to give the side to 3P here. Look at this. They're all falling back. All card. With a good angle there, but MKZ too quick. The response is there, and I mean, it's really weird. He got ice in his veins, really. I mean, That was so quick. And now the bomb has been planted. The retake is going on. Look at this back, making a lot of noise, but it doesn't really matter. He finds one eventually, but there's Elsewhere looking for the trade. He misses a couple of shots, but Beck gets it done eventually as well. I don't know, but MKZ is the last man standing now. Good position. No one has really cleared him, and now he could do a cool move. Gets it done. He gets one. Look at this. He actually gets away with it too. What is happening?
Incredible. What a clutch. What a clutch. And such an important time to make it happen as well. I have no idea how Beck was able to get that second kill. It's got the timing on the switch to the pistol, and there's MKZ. I mean, I'm pretty sure the defuse, there was no chance for it anymore after he pulled the first player off it. It was what they had to put into place. They had to have one player holding it and one player looking for the last enemy to remove, and they couldn't find MKZ. Most important round of the game, perhaps, for the PingPongPals. Up to map point now to send us to a third. Black Widow is where we need to go. It's only one round away. InnerCircle, knowing how the pattern of this half has gone, I wouldn't be surprised if we have extra rounds here and we see an overtime.
Yeah, no, I agree with you at all. I mean, totally understandable. But I'm sure 3P has other plans. We'll see. So yeah, let's just rewind that for a second. Look at Austin, he gets naded.
Triple.
That was nice. Yeah, I mean they totally
naded.
stacked him. Don't see that all day. Yeah. Well, I wanted to say that 3P, they wanted to play Ankara. That didn't really work out well. Now the InnerCircle, they wanted to play Eagle Eye, and that doesn't really work out too great either. Maybe there's something else in the making, but look at this 3P. This is just pure dominance right now. Kiko, the last man standing against 5. Let's say maybe, but realistically it's not gonna happen here. Picks up Gainer, but LSY is there to get it done. And look at Pietro once again. It means so much to him though.
Yeah, that's great to see. He's still got that fire in his belly, moving to a different team. Clearly that has almost reignited his passion for it in a way. Not that maybe he ever lost it, but still. That's a really incredible map 2 win there for the PingPongPals. Really impressive. I think LSY deserves all the props in the world for how much damage he did in that first half. They won the game due to that first half. They had a gap to work with. They changed up their strategies a little bit over the course of the half. Gauged, had time with that gap they'd built up to gauge what was working and gauge what wasn't working. But in the end, the difference maker is some of those clutches, right? I mean, Pietro getting that crazy win on low HP against Alucard. Some of those late rounds at the end of the game as well, that the clutch from MKZ just to remove the diffuser at the very last second, that changed a lot too. I'm very impressed. We said in the first map that they didn't embarrass themselves whatsoever, and they actually showed a really good, solid level against what could be considered the favourites in this particular matchup. And, well, look at that. I mean, they're showing what they're made of now in map 2. So, really impressive, very happy with what I've seen from them. And then we go to Black Widow now, of course, which is I guess you could say, surprising that we've had to go to map 3 in this particular matchup.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I agree with you. And guys, don't go anywhere. We will switch to the desk, so see you soon.
as the casters highlighted, they didn't show too much. They added 2 drops to the fuel.
Yes.
And I think in that map, I wouldn't say they relinquished IC, but still, InnerCircle did not show as much as I expected, but Triple P showed way beyond my expectations.
Exactly. Everybody expected 2-0 for InnerCircle, especially after the first map and the breakdown that might happen to PingPongPals. But these guys, they came here on top in the map too. And LSY, man, the sniper shots from this guy. First half, this guy single-handedly destroyed InnerCircle. He played very good. He played almost to the perfection. And also, the way they play Global Risk PingPongPals just shaped everything, even in the second half, because it made them feel so comfortable in finishing 6-3 on the Global Risk. So I guess PingPongPals, they showed us how this team is made. And as we said, they played very good first map. They weren't very success in entering the site and maybe trading. They didn't have that much success in such things, but in Eagle Eye, everything was close to perfection. Strat-wise, global risk-wise, rotation-wise, killing-wise, trading. Pietro even stepped up to the play. He started killing, flanking, and everybody started killing. And we've seen how these guys also played the post plans. MKZ with his mind games, killing the diffuser and going around the side, killing the other guy. All these clutches what PingPongPals needed for the first game, and now they put it on the first map and second map, and they won it, and they bring us to map number three, which is gonna be Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
InnerCircle, they know how to play Black Widow. PingPongPals, I'm pretty sure that they know how to play Black Widow as well, but I would say maybe InnerCircle is gonna be better on Black Widow, depending on the experience, because Black Widow is one of the most oldest maps in CrossFire, and usually you would need your experience. You would need someone who's clutching with this experience. So if it comes to this end, InnerCircle have maybe an upper hand, but PingPongPals going to map 3, which is actually, I guess, one of the surprises, especially its first match in our season 2.
Yeah, I mean, I have 2 scenarios in my head that's playing out. One is the InnerCircle gave up this map so they could play Black Widow and get a 2-1 victory. And the other is the Triple P, with Petro, of course, leading, put some more fuel in the gas. And they're like, we want to win the Series 1 or the first series that we have, and to prove to the audience and to the other coaches, teams, organizations that they're here to compete.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the KDs of the guys. LSY was 1.9 KD. He's definitely the MVP of this map. And I guess if PingPongPals would be able to win the whole series, might be LSY the first MVP of the first match in our season 2. But who knows? Map number 3 is going to be all on InnerCircle shoulder, because these guys who are looking for the win, they are coming here as the upper hand, top 4 team. PingPongPals
are the underdogs, definitely. They're the underdogs.
Yeah, and your PingPongPals coming as the underdogs. They're coming from the CFOL, playing one of the best teams in the league, and still neck to neck, 1-on-1, and going to Black Widow. So, if we've seen the same sniping shots from LSY, backed up by HDZ, I'm gonna say that PingPongPals can close this series and win.
I agree. I totally agree. And I have to highlight one thing is this entire region, man, has some of the best players that you can see, to be honest, in any level of competition, whether it's the high tier or the slightly lower tier. I think all teams can compete, all jokes aside, you know. So I'm kind of curious who's going to end up in the top 4 once we're done.
Yeah, as you said, we're going to play a game and just guess who's going to be the top 4. But
it's
after map
dinner or something, you know.
Nah, after map 2, I don't think I'm going to be able to guess who's going to be top 4, because all the teams, as you said, they are really ready and locked in for competing.
Definitely.
Yes, we might have maybe 1 or 2 teams since season 1 which are not ready to compete, but this is because, you know, you're shuffling rosters, you're playing for the first time, and it's season 1, now it's season 2. Players are more locked in, they're more focused, and they're more ready, as we see from PingPongPals.
Yeah, and let's keep in mind, even a team like 999, for example, and I think it was Entropy as well, they struggled a little bit due to technical difficulties. So I'm pretty sure, for at least speaking for 999, that they're here to compete and they're here to stay, you know. And I can't wait to cast and to host and be a part of that that experience as well, because it's such a bummer, right? If you're in the top teams and you just end up losing 3 games in a row because you got DQ'd or something, then there's not much else you can do. You can't prove yourself because you're not playing CF, you know?
Yes, exactly. And now these guys are coming here, and maybe they're reshuffling. As we know, 999, they have new addition,
Yeah.
which is Creeds, and now PingPongPals, they had 2 new additions. Gainer, we didn't talk much about this
Oh,
guy.
yes.
He's one of the best Egyptian players right now in the scene. We've seen his clutches and his kills. That's always turning the rounds for PingPongPals. How he's playing, how he's moving, how he's acting to the game. He's very, very good, experienced player. So adding him to PingPongPals alongside with Pietro is just making PingPongPals a top tier team, which is nothing missing for them except getting the wins, getting the confidence, and competing to the first place.
Yeah, and I mean, Gainer reminds me a little bit like Alucard as well, that they're always smiling, they're always
Yes,
hyped
yes,
up.
exactly.
I'm happy. I don't want to envy it. I'm just saying I've never seen them frown or be upset. And the same thing, I like charismatic players, just like Petro after a round or after a game.
He's
He
shouting.
gets off his
Yes,
chair and starts celebrating.
course.
That's the kind of energy you need to compete at this tier of level of Crossfire, you know?
Exactly, especially that Pietro is playing his X team, and he will be
Yeah.
showing himself, and also to the fans and to everybody, that he's very good, talented player that can build up teams and put them into the top 4. Because he's the one who started Unnights, which is InnerCircle now, and now he's starting with PingPongPals alongside with other guys, and he have young talents, LSY, Gainer. These guys we've never seen them competing in the top 4, but still they can.
All right, let's take it back to our casters for the final game of this series.
Well, will Pietro be back to haunt his former players, of course? Formerly on Knights, but now InnerCircle. I think it's going to be fascinating. I think he's doing a really good job so far. Again, first game of the season, right? You mentioned this. Sometimes you can have jitters and a bit of nerves being the first game of the season, but these guys have been around for a long time. I'm willing to give both these two the benefit of the doubt with how good they have been playing, and I think PingPongPals deserve to be in this map 3 of Black Widow right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can already tell the InnerCircle, they are already close towards B, ready to go. I mean, just a matter of a couple of seconds here. There you go, the flash comes through. Kiko will jump onto the bomb site here. MKZ hiding in the corner. Gainer not really able to find anything. Just get back, sneaks through, but he will get taken out eventually. Look at this. MKZ stalling this one by perfection. And look at this, Jinser now completely flashed, needs to wait to get his vision back. LSY in a good position. MKZ kind of giving himself up there. A bit risky, but so far so good. There you go, Jinser takes him out. Now LSY in the clutch, waiting for anyone to cross. But you know what? They have the bomb. I'm not sure if they know, but HTZ with the cross here. If he finds one, this would be a huge difference maker already. Can he get it done, though? It's just a matter of moments. The flash is good. He's completely blinded as well. And now they will get the bomb. They will get the bomb planted as well. Look at Pietro once again. Wrapping up from behind here as HTZ tries to get an early frag into this retake here, but not gonna happen. Alucard with a good flick onto Pietro. Will he find a second? Of course he will. HTZ now left alone. 1 versus 3. This is going to be a very tough situation for him. Can he get it done? Can he find anything? Not this time around.
Already Alucard locked in there. 2 very important kills to prevent the retake. Even at the protocol, as simple as making sure HDZ is flashed off the angle and they cross onto the site. It was really nicely done there. I mean, they could have been a little bit lackadaisical and just cross thinking, okay, if he kills 1, we can still get the bomb across and plant, and it's going to be all good. But no. Flash was spot on. They had it available. They used it at the right time. And it meant that it forced a retake.
You know what? I feel like MKZ did a little bit of a mistake there. I mean, he could have, stayed behind that metal box because he had LSY supporting him from the other side, but he kind of gave himself up, giving a great chunk from the round towards 3P here. But nonetheless, it is going to be another quick run down into Ketty. I like what I'm seeing. I mean, this aggression so far from IC, I like to see it. It has worked out in the previous matches as well. And I want to mention one thing, right? So, LSY 1.92 KD in the last match. I mean, this guy, he was really stepping it up. I think he had like more than 20 kills, right? So, definitely stepping it up for his team big time. The next player after him would have been Pietro with 1.3. So both of them really trying their very best to bring this one home. And, you know, Pietro had a very tough first map, but he eventually, you know, he kind of got used to the, I don't know, like the pressure maybe. I don't feel like this guy's pressured, but something switched in his head. And I like what I'm seeing. He's really stepping it up, and this is kind of scary here, HDZ. I like this position. A very common one too. He finds Kiko, the flash will come out. Stall this push a little bit longer, wait for your teammates, but eventually they will get the bomb site A here. And I like this decision here from 3P just to fall back, group together eventually, and get this one done.
Can they though? That is the question. Bomb is now down, clock above their heads. And the after-plant positions here for InnerCircle are going to be pretty decent. Forcing their way back through, and that's a great pick on Alucard. HDZ will get that one done. It's not all LSY when it comes to this team. And now we need to see if they can hold it down. 13 seconds, Pietro is going to start to hold that defuse, and HDZ is doing a brilliant job. He's holding them at bay while Pietro does get that defuse in. That's just plainly good teamwork there.
Yeah, you love to see it. I mean, kill after kill, they got it done, and even in the end, it looked close, but it really wasn't. I mean, Awesome, a little too late to the party here, wasn't really able to get anything done from his position. And you know what? I agree with Penguin when he said, you know, the InnerCircle, they might have the upper hand on Black Widow for a couple of reasons, to be fair. But 3P, they kind of proved us wrong in the second map on Eagle Eye. So I definitely give them a great chance to be super competitive here against the InnerCircle. But again, I feel like the InnerCircle, they have the better individual players in general, I would say. But we are yet to find out. And once again, we group in front of B. We have seen this before. It's basically the same scenario. Once again, Kiko jumps in. Can he find anything? Oh, the flash is a little bit weird. Pietro will get down. The aggression wasn't really worth it there. But there's LSY, the hero of this team so far. But, well, the nade will take him out. And this is a great start so far. MKZ needs to back off. He needs to let this one let this one slip, because he's not really able to get anything done from his position. And now it's yet another retake situation.
Advantage, but that is recovered, but only for the slimmest of moments. 10th of a second. There'll be a tap on the defuse from MKZ. That might actually kind of worry the InnerCircle players, that there is a tap on that defuse, but in the end, they now know where HDZ is. You know, he's got kind of no chance for this one. So just play it properly and don't over peak. Jin will go for a little bit of a jump spot there. Don't see anything. Awesome doesn't need to swing until Jin takes contact, and that's exactly what he swings. There we go. Perfect. Textbook stuff. We're in a circle there. A little bit concerned, as I said, maybe when MKZ did tap that defuse, maybe would have forced him into the open a bit quicker, but in the end it doesn't matter. They figured it out very quickly, and they're back into a slight lead.
Yeah, and look at this, not wasting any time. I like what I'm seeing. Kiko takes out LSY, and it's Pietro and returns the favor. But look at this, the aggression is so good. Jinsa already with the flank takes out MKZ, and now this is all falling apart. Gainer trying to solve this issue here, but what can he do from his position? He finds Jinsa regardless, but now HTZ and Gainer in the clutch position. HTZ already been spotted by Alucard, and I give Alucard a great chance to win this battle, but there's Awesome. He's kind of helping his friend here, but HTZ, he has to find Alucard. This is the case. He finds him, though, makes things very winnable. Now, Beck gets a good damage onto Gainer. He takes him out too, so HTZ, last man standing. What can he do? He finds one. Time is ticking back. He just needs to play time. It's impossible to lose this round, basically. Back. He gets it done, and look at his face. He's unfazed.
Yeah, making the right moves there, Beck. I think the end, even though he did swing and he didn't need to, he knew he'd won the round already, so it actually just didn't matter anymore. He just swing, take the kill. That was the important kill on toward Gainer there. And here, tied, 5 seconds. There was no time for him to sprint back towards the DQ to get it done quick enough. And again, in the following round, mentioned about the pace staying pretty high. And we're continuing it here, and already a couple of kills coming through for either side. Pietro trying to hold on, but it's only one. InnerCircle seeming very confident on going for these trades and getting successful site takes over toward B in particular. And right now, PingPongPals don't seem to have a way to hold them at bay.
Pace is great. I mean, they're not wasting any time. I'm not sure if it's confidence or just pure send it and think about it later. But it works. Looks pretty good to Alucard. This time around, Gainer will take him out, make things a little bit more winnable for them. Beck is in an awkward position. I'm not sure if they have any idea that someone is already on site. I mean, Gainer, did he spot Jinser? He did. This is good. This is very good for them because now they have the info. They're still in front of B. They know something is up, and this is the awkward timing here I was kind of thinking about. I mean, Beck, not really ideal for him now. Jinser in a clutch. He takes out HTZ. Does he check Gainer though? This would be huge for him. Can he get it done? The timing is good, but Gainer, what a flick onto him. I mean, this is so crucial right now.
I don't know how he's actually been able to win that, to be completely honest with you. Again, Gainer proving to be one of the best players in the region, in the league. Just making things happen that shouldn't be happening, really. That is something clutch. Probably should be 4-1, but it is 3-2. InnerCircle will be kicking themselves on that one. Already got quite a bit of control. Have InnerCircle here. Again, trying to take map control pretty quickly. Not as quickly as the last couple of rounds, but going to fall back off of it now. Back up towards spawn. Looking to maybe try and take long as a group. C4's actually going to go for the underpass route over toward A, and it has quite a lot of progress. It's somewhat alone. Now he's got a bit of support coming in from Awesome. There's Alucard who's got that C4 picked up, and now they'll pinch together. 2 from the short position and 3 from the long position, and the flash is perfectly timed. That's the way you go about it. But there's more where that came from on site. HBZ and Gainer are still here, but Alucard's done well as they work their way through that position. 2 players still here though. Are they going to be expecting 2? I'm getting the impression they probably won't be, and Gainer is baited in to deliver the goods, but it's only 2. He probably needed 3, but can LSY win another clutch? He had his chance, but Jin hits the critical headshot. Wow, what a back and forth round.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Penguin, he was pointing out how good of a player Gainer is. I mean, this guy is one of the best Egyptian players at the moment, so huge shoutouts to him. He's really stepping it up. Look at this Jinser, not wasting any time, catches anything by surprise, and Beck finish the job as well. Look at this Gainer now trying to save the day. He gets 1, but the damage is already being done, and Pietro misses a little bit of a crucial shot there, but could have been worse. Awesome still trying to find Gainer and Cat, and the timing is off, but well, not the end of the world. Gainer gets it done eventually, but that was a little bit awkward for him though, because you know Gainer, he's a very good player, but happens to the best. Pietro now finds Kiko though. He needs to find a little bit more, but look at the HP of Gainer. I mean, this needs to be a hero play. Jinser now swinging. Can he get it done? Oh, that looked a little bit weird, but he gets it done now. Pietro in the clutch. The smoke is in the way. Doesn't matter. He gets it done. Alucard dead on the floor. No, Jinser under cat position. Gets it done. A beautiful play by them.
I mean, that was just very messy overall that round. I mean, InnerCircle had the bomb planted for a good period of time. Look how aggressive they went when they had the C4 down. I'm really not sure why they felt the need to do that, or why they felt the need to be so pushy on that one, because Gainer was so low. Like, if he pushes into you, you know, he's dead. So I don't know why they felt the need to go so aggressive, especially on the last 2 players. and it was in that 2v1 as well, so giving chances over to their opponents. But doesn't matter, they're keeping that pace up, they're keeping that strategy going, and right now I can't argue with it because it's working. They did get that previous round in their favour in the end, and again they've got control over toward A. They're locking PingPongPals behind this utility. Once again the C4 is planted, and once again it's going to be a tough retake because they've got these players in different positions, like Awesome still being a nuisance from spawn, and you can just delay them. Doesn't need to commit to a fight there, you can just show a few taps, move all the way around, be more annoying. They are worried about that position, and when he smokes up, it's going to be so hard for them to make their way through it. PingPongPals, and they'll all get picked off one by one. That was a bit better from InnerCircle, much cleaner in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, one thing I want to mention is PingPongPals had a different main player back in the Open League. It was Terror though, and kind of unfortunate to not see him play because I feel like, you know, Terror is one of the better players, but not too sure how good he would be in this roster right now. But nonetheless, I wanted to mention it. Terror not forgotten. He's in a sub position, but maybe just maybe we might see him play. But so much for that. But yeah, the InnerCircle 6-2, a very dominant performance so far. Penguin kind of called it. He said, yeah, he gives them the upper hand, but, you know, you never know until you know, and I guess we know. So, PingPongPals, they need to step it up a bit, of course. Again, the individual skills are a little bit better on the, you know, on the InnerCircle side, but I give them a good chance. And look at this. The push will come through once again. I like this aggression. HTZ not able to get anything done from his position. LSY finds one, finds two, can find a third. The positioning is good, but Jinser and Beck, they both take him out. And now MKZ in window here needs to clutch once again. A 1 versus 2, a very tough situation for him. He spots Jinser, nice tap onto his head. 1v1 Kiko. What can this guy do? I mean, this is going to be one of these situations where, you know, confidence is key. Look at this Kiko, how clean that is. I mean, this doesn't even give him a chance, though.
And you are right. It was, you know, Penguin who said that I'm willing to give InnerCircle a bit of a positive thoughts for this Black Widow decider. They are just plainly historically better on the map. So I'm not going to say I'm actually too surprised by this current scoreline.
No.
I do feel like this is going to be a quick closeout in a 2-1 fashion. They probably think to themselves as well, like, we should have had this done 2-0. We had a bit of a poor first half of Eagle Eye. That's what has caught us off guard. But I mean, PingPongPals will still be fighting. They should be taking this round. Gainer again has got an entry. And then we'll go down to the HDZ hold. They now know where Beck is, so there should be no issue recovering this one. C4 can be picked up and planted. There's more than enough time. And once again, right, I mean, I've covered previous seasons, obviously, of CFWL, and kept an eye on the scene and stuff. Often the pace of these rounds was very, very slow. And don't get me wrong, we have quite a lot of these slow rounds still in play. But feels like to me, this season, this first matchup, and of course previous seasons as well, looking at how Anubis played last season, the pace is just so much faster in this league now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of reasons for it. One being CrossFire is a very fast game, right? I mean, the way you are able to run around freely like that, I mean, you have an orb in your hand and you just, you know, switch to the pistol and run for your life, right? So, yeah, that's a thing you can do in CrossFire. So, CrossFire always has been a quick past game, I would say, but of course you're right. I mean, for some reason everyone is kind of, you know, stepping it up big time. I mean, we have seen the couple of first rounds from IC, right? They were just running and running towards B all the time, and it worked out beautifully. And this is probably why they do it so much, right? It works. I mean, they catch them by surprise. Even if they are prepared, they can't really do anything about it. So don't really, you know, mind them doing that. But let's take a look towards Jinsen here. The key position can't really get anything done. He gets a lot of info now. Beck needs to stall this push as long as he can. But look at this. Why is 3P stalling? They could have such a big advantage now. This is kind of falling apart. Beck finally finds Pietro here, but the damage has been done. But honestly, I mean, 3P is stalling, but still looks very good for them, and eventually they will find back Awesome now in the winner position with an arm. Interesting choice. Can you find anything from this position?
Seen him.
No, don't think he does. Oh,
yeah.
he missed the shot as well, and now Alucard in this clutch. I mean, yeah, Alucard, the star player here, I would say, but let's be real, it's not a very winnable situation for him. I mean, best thing they could do is just, go back, let's talk a bit, like what happened here, and let's figure it out. But Alucard, of course, he at least gives it a try, though.
This game is by no means done. Pals have started well in the second half. I do agree with you that they took quite a while to clear Beck from the corner. They knew he was there and were quite hesitant to go in, making sure they just didn't peek one by one, I suppose, and give him free kills. Only get away with one. So well played, but still a long way to go. Beck once again is in position actually to deliver. Towards the A side of the map, now playing the floorboards, of course, seeing the players run through below him with that M4. Lots more wallbang damage, of course, possible with that position, with that weapon.
There's no sound cue whatsoever. It's very quiet. We get to enjoy the scenery for a second. 3P, they improved themselves ever since they swapped sides, and I really like what I'm seeing. I mean, they feel more confident on the other side of things, which obviously is a good thing for them. Like you mentioned, this game is far from over. It's still a very tight matchup, even though, of course, the InnerCircle, they're leading. Yeah, you gotta give them that, sure, but 3P, they have something in mind and is winning this match, and Beck will go down to MKZ here, and this flash didn't really work out that well. I mean, Awesome completely blinded by the lights, and surely they need to make a move eventually. I mean, 40 seconds on the board, you can kind of tell they're going for this A hit here, but as I mentioned that, they actually kind of decide to go back. So they're still deciding what to do here. And it seems like they actually decide to go towards B. Look at this. I mean, Pietro, he's in front of box room here. He knows it might be clear, maybe. I'm not sure what info they have, but doesn't really matter. HTZ finds Kiko. 15 seconds on the board, guys. You have to make a move. Now it's only Jinzer on the bomb side B if he can get anything done, but he doesn't get anything done from his position. Awesome now on the side here. Can't even find Pietro here. I mean, wow, this is just falling apart. Alucard once again. Last man standing. Look at Pietro. He is ready to go. Look at his face once again. I mean, he's not hyped up, but he's very, very ready to go.
It was a bit disappointing there in that round for InnerCircle. I mean, Alucard got his one over toward the opposite side of the map. That's the kind of the fake that came through by 3P. And they did leave it very, very late, as you say, over toward that B side to actually take the site and get the bomb down. Jin, if he was able to get one and delay time, that could have actually made a big, big difference to the round. But the position he plays allows him to get rounded on by Pietro. It's an easy kill, and suddenly there's no way back in. As you can see, things are feeling a little bit worrying now.
Yeah.
For InnerCircle. They would have, after such a good first half, they would have been quite confident in getting this one done pretty comfortably, but we're closing up again to within 2.
So, in the beginning of this break, you could really tell Beck dived down with his head, started talking. He's still, you can't see his mouth, but I bet he's talking, right? So he's probably just throwing in ideas like, hey guys, what is going on? What can we do? Let's do this and that. And this is, what you like to hear from Beck, because obviously he being the IGL, he being the engine of this team here, he needs to, figure it out. He needs to find a solution. Otherwise, hey, 3P, they ever since the switch, they really stepped it up big time, and I wish we could have seen them for a second here, because I bet they're happy right now. I mean, obviously they're not in the lead, they're still behind, but still, they have to be happy with how this is going.
You can tell for just the facial expressions on InnerCircle right now, this game's feeling a little bit like a chore at the moment. It's not a comfortable win at all. And knowing this is obviously a roster that has been a consistent force in the CFWL and always appeared in playoffs over the course of the last couple of seasons, last year and of course in the season 1 this year. Obviously that was with Pietro. Things have changed a little bit since then. But I mean, obviously I'm not in the server, I'm not in the TeamSpeak, I don't know exactly what is being said, but you could possibly assume from the outside looking in that maybe it's just slight teething issues with getting also into the roster, bedded in, sort of thing that can happen.
Yeah, so far I would say Awesome is a great addition to this team. Like I said earlier, he's been really good. I mean, especially on Ankara, right? I mean, he had his moments here and there. Obviously also on the other maps, right? But especially on Ankara, I would say. Let's take a look towards 3P here. Everyone is staring at the screen. We are about to jump back into the game. And is LSY being blinded by the sun there? Am I seeing that right? I mean, that must be annoying, no? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would not stand for that if that were me. I would get that blind closed ASAP.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're ready and raring to get back into it. The PingPongPals logo as well is certainly an interesting one. I don't necessarily like. I mean, I see the like the sports person with like the headband on, but like, where's the ping pong bats? Like, where are the balls? Where's the table? Like, come on, guys.
Fair. Well, we are back into the game. 2 rounds apart only. We see no different approach, I would say, so far. I mean, slower, yeah, but nothing too outstanding. I mean, everyone is just, doing their thing, and they're slowly but surely securing mid here. They have all the info they need. The smoke is a little bit off, feels like. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Anyway, we see PingPongPals grouping up in front of B, and I wonder what the InnerCircle is thinking right now. I mean, they had their chance to talk. They had a long time actually to talk, so they surely have to figure it out. I mean, if they don't get this next round, I give 3P a good chance to bring this one home, because no joke, if 3P gets this victory here, obviously it's not flawless, but no one ever, not a single person, would have expected them to win. So I really, I like the underdog story here, and especially for Pietro, I feel like this would mean so much to him. But let's see what happens.
Yeah, of course, against his former players. Moving on to pastures new, and saying, guys, look what you used to have with me. Remember me? I'm sure you haven't forgotten me at all, especially not now. Anyway, LSY is looking ready and raring to go once again. He's been a consistent force over this BO3 thus far. His first match of CFWL Season 2 in 2025 has not failed to deliver. Quick 1-for-1 in B main. Jin once again playing that position that Beck was playing earlier, and he didn't play that position earlier, Jin, and that's what kind of caught him off guard. And 17 seconds on the clock in a similar situation like this is what lost them the round. Ooh. He's doing a great job this time. Gaimin needs to respond and does. Bomb is on the floor. Where is it? Need to get that planted ASAP. Can it cross? It'll be very close, and they'll just about get it down with 2 seconds to spare. Now a 2v2. There's a big flank coming in from Beck, which hasn't been seen just yet, but Gaimin is keeping a close eye on that. And Beck now waiting to see what Alucard can get done. This is going to be a very tough way to get back in, and PingPongPals know this is the moment. This is the moment to deliver. This is the moment to hang on and close the gap to 1. InnerCircle increase it to 3. Maybe this finish line is opening up for them a little bit more. Gainer jiggling with those stairs, being an absolute nuisance. Alucard will finally switch to the rifle, but he needs to find both, and time is getting so low. He's trying to run down MKZ, and he gets it, but is there time for the defuse? I don't think there is. It will blow up in his face. And PingPongPals keep on ping-ponging.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, fair. Didn't expect that, but 3P, they actually got it done. I mean, you got a lot of these multi-kills. Jinza in a good position, it takes out player after player, but there was Gainer with the response. I mean, this match is so close, and you have to, remind yourself that, the InnerCircle, they started off very strong, but ever since the switch, 3P, they have come back, they put these numbers closer together, and it's only one round to break things even, and oh boy, the InnerCircle, they are, let's say, they're a little bit shocked, I would say. They didn't expect that at all after this first half. I mean, they were so dominant, and all of a sudden, not too much anymore, and Kiko, look at Kiko in the position, they're not really able to get anything done, and that's why it takes him out, and now the push will come through, and MKZ will push through Cat, can't really find anyone. Awesome, good for one, can find a second, it's a huge for his team, but that's why already good for one as well, and once again, 3P, they start to look so scary and awesome. Maybe if he has a good timing here, he might just be able to sneak through. Oh boy, because I like this, but HDZ not letting this one slip, and Jinza, last man standing, will get flanked. Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed, man. I mean, where have they gone? Where's InnerCircle gone? They've fallen out of the circle right now. They're nowhere to be seen. PingPongPals back up to 7 apiece. It's suddenly anyone's game. We look like InnerCircle were fully in control. Penguin rightly said it's a map they should be more confident on, and maybe Jinza is going to try and change that. He's going to try and get this lead back again. It's a good hold. MKZ will try and force his way out mid. Won't be allowed by Kiko, and finally, they're getting something done here. Jin is going to hold the line. That's 3 for him. Looking for 4, but Gainer is going to have to try and get out of there. And Rot will finally be stopped by InnerCircle.
Yeah, I mean, flawless. That was great. I mean, 3P, they tried a different approach, more aggressive, more full send, and this time around didn't work out. Huge shoutouts to Jinzer, obviously. I mean, this guy, he's putting up these numbers, so important right now to keep these, let's keep this map close. But yeah, finally, the InnerCircle, they push another round, and this is a much needed one. I feel like this is a little bit too late, but 3P, I hope for them that, they don't lose their momentum, they don't lose their confidence. I mean, a round is a round, yeah, but still, it's a very close matchup. It's still anyone's game at this point. Look at this back. Timing is key. Peak advantage gets nothing. Twice. Oh man,
I can't believe it.
It is just so unfortunate. I mean, he has the right idea. He has a peak advantage. He has everything he needs, but he doesn't get it done. And yet again, 3P, they look so good.
Yeah, and that wasn't even a bad choice there from InnerCircle. I mean, as you rightly say, I mean, Beck and Kiko were together. Awesome needs this, otherwise this round feels like it's pretty much done. We're not going to commit any further, knowing there could be more players, of course, where that came from, and now he's getting rounded on. Look at this. They're willing to go all the way back into spawn purely to clear Awesome. He's done good work to find his one in the end. Awesome realizing he's being closed in upon. But in the end, that being an instant trade, still retains the 3v2, a one-man advantage for the PingPongPals, and now they can go up together toward A. Alucard and Jin are not really in a position to stop them if they decide to make this play. They're going to have to rotate back around to help toward that long area. They're going to go through long corner now. And sure, Jinza is giving it a slight glance, but it's not like he's on the bomb site trying to hold down the fort. So, see the information, try and get Alucard into action, but it's a critical missed shot. Rare miss from Alucard, and that will give PingPongPals an afterplant.
Yeah, definitely a very critical miss from him. Gainer spots Jinza, not really looking ideal for him, but Gainer gets it done once again. One of the best Egyptian players right now, and Alucard, he's just not really hitting the shots he needs to hit right now. I mean, this is so crucial. I understand it's not easy, of course. Still, it's so important, and yet another round for 3P, and you know what? Oh boy, we are pushing these numbers, and I feel like this is going to be, it will get more interesting than we ever expected, right? So it's break even once again. One more round to go, and whoever gets this next round, I'm calling it, they will win the entire match. But let's see what happens. I mean, it's just so interesting to see, right? I mean, so far, so good. Gainer pushing these numbers. Of course, on the other side, you know, you have Jinsa putting up these numbers as well, especially in these, you know, very hectic moments. But yeah, so far, so good.
Map 1 and Map 2 both went to a 10-7. We're now guaranteed, of course, to be a bit of a closer scoreline than that. But will it be a 10-8 for either one of these two? Who gets the first match point? You can tell how much this round now means to both of these two, because suddenly we're playing a little bit more cautiously. We're trying to feel out the map a little bit more steadily.
Well, there you go. Push will come through. Trades are being done. And look at Jinsa once again. So crucial. This guy needs to perform when he, you know, he needs to. But HTZ, what are you doing? He's just responding after the triple kill from Jinsa. He returns the favor, and look at these numbers: 2 versus 2. Hey, this couldn't get even more intense. I mean, how can it be that both of these teams get triple kills, but still it's so break even? But one thing, the bomb has been dropped. Not sure if they are aware of it, but you have Beck very close to it. I'm not sure if he's able to hold on to it. LSY slowly but surely creeps onto it, but the scope is a little dangerously. HTC with a crucial miss, but there's the instant trade. LSY now versus Beck. Let's see who can win this very important battle here. It's only a matter of seconds, and it's actually going to be LSY. And look at Pietro once again shouting at his teammates, like, let's go guys, we are going to win this one.
Oh my goodness, HDZ does God's work there. I mean, that is unbelievable. 3 kills on the push up towards the site. And they were a little bit cautious in going to pick up that C4. I understand why, thinking that InnerCircle could have maybe 2 players on it, one on the left, one on the right, to play a perfect angle to stop them from picking it up, but you know, they managed to get up there, managed to grab it, almost got caught, and in the end one of them did get caught to make it a 1v1, but the all-important shot was hit. A 1v1 at 8 all. Pretty dramatic. And PingPongPals, the first match point. Who would have thought it? They've been playing catch-up all game. They lost map 1, did really well on map 2, but InnerCircle did make it close in the end. And map 3, they're in the lead for the first egg, if memory serves me correctly. Maybe they were in the lead at the very beginning of the game, maybe I'm wrong on that one, but yeah, it was InnerCircle in control for perhaps the entirety of the game, and suddenly they have to play a match from a match point down. Crazy how things turn around. Beck underneath the catwalk right now. Those angles you can play, of course, get that those wallbang kills through the gaps and just through the wood straight up. It doesn't like the PingPongPals. Oh no, they've lost a player. The worst possible time, I can't believe it. They've lost a player, one has dropped out, so it's a 4v5. They're going to try and make a bit of a crazy cool work for them, and Pietro's actually just incredibly spun and hit that headshot on Awesome. I cannot believe it. Jin is going to go down anyway. Alucard may get one in response, and the health is so low. But they have a chance to hold on in this 2v3 after plant.
They were just about to push towards Cat, then somebody dropped out of the server, and this is just very unfortunate for 3P, but a good response from the InnerCircle. I mean, super unfortunate once again, but I mean, if you are the InnerCircle, I mean, you're just so happy with this. I mean, it happens, it's not the end of the world, but again, we don't really want this to happen regardless, and I mean, we called it out. It's the first time for them to lose the game here, and all of a sudden it just falls apart, and not really your fault either. I mean, how devastated are you at this point? I mean, I don't know. If I'm in their position, I would just like punch the air right now. So
I mean, that's just unbelievably depressing. Like that would piss me off beyond belief to have it happen then, when you're the underdog in a game, first game of the series, and you have an opportunity to actually beat the favourite, in a particular matchup and it's ripped away from you like that. They did incredibly well to find the first 2 kills and actually wrestled back an advantage. It was a good call to go mid to B in the end. I did like it, but in the end, Alucard just managing to pick off 1, got them in, and yeah, kept them in the conversation of the round, and then after the other duels came through, even though the one did go, of course, the other way, the damage was so significant. And in the end, they could just retake a bit more comfortably.
Pietro just standing up for a second, stretch his legs. Yep, get comfortable again. I mean, oh, no, never mind. Goodbye. Yeah, again, it's just super unlucky for them. I hope they don't... I don't know. I hope they just don't let go, because I feel like they really, really put on a performance beyond anyone's expectations, right? So, yeah, especially on this last one, even though they lost the player, Pietro, these shots out of nowhere. I mean, it looked like child's play for a second, but nonetheless, we are pushing overtime. I mean, who would have thought, right? I mean, it's a 1-1. We're pushing overtime on the last set, so let's see what the InnerCircle has to say, because again, 3P right now, they are brutally pushing onto everyone's lane, right? So let's see what happens.
Well, at least for PingPongPals are in a position where, as you say, Slate is wiped clean, and we can go again. They've lost their one opportunity to unfortunate circumstances, but let's see. Still in the game. That's all that matters right now. InnerCircle are too. That'll be all that matters to them after being match point down. It felt like that was never going to happen at the course of the series. InnerCircle are grouped up and ready to go outside B. In come the flashes to try and force their way through. Already Kiko entry gainer. Pietro does hold the line with 2. He's done well. That will actually even out this hole to make it a 3v3. So that's something to talk about. And they haven't got anywhere near the bomb plant yet. So PingPongPals not out of this round, especially with a big flag possibility from MKZ.
Yeah, it's Alucard in a position to prevent any bad things from happening, but well, Beck is there to help his friend out, and it's only to be HTZ. But look at this, I mean, this guy, he's on fire, he takes out Alucard, and not sure if they are. It looks like it LSY pushes onto the side, Awesome takes him out, and well, Awesome. He does what he can best, right? He takes out these last players, saves the round. He put a little smile on his face, But yeah, surely a good round from the InnerCircle. It looked a little bit scary for a second, but nonetheless, they got it done.
Yeah, they were both very, very low HP there at the end of that, but Awesome does well to grab the kill. It was very clutchable for the last remaining PingPongPal.
Yep.
Not able to do it this time, though. And now, I've already got control out toward long here with Alucard, just ducking and diving on the site, trying to get this opening pick just to aid this round. To give them an idea of where they want to end up.
Well, yeah, once again, we have a very slow approach. I mean, in overtime, obviously, you have less pressure, I would say, because, it's not, oh boy, we need to win one more round or it's over, right? So, a little bit of a relief, especially for the InnerCircle. Again, I feel like if HEZ didn't, if he wouldn't have jumped out of the server there, it could have been 3P's round, but it's always easy to say, right? So nonetheless, we are here now. The InnerCircle lead with 1 round, and you can tell they're not ready to go. Gainer a little bit blinded here. He goes for the full aggression peak here, but still alive though. Still standing. HTZ holding the head across, but can he get anything done? He will. He finds Jinter LSY will find back, but the trades are good. Awesome is there to support, but once again, Alucard last man standing, and is this it? I'm not sure, but we are still pushing these numbers.
No separating these two. Pretty incredible, really. First game of the season, and it goes down to a third map OT. 10 rounds all, 1 map all. We're in for a long night, I think.
P has another idea in mind. Can tell they're much more spread. You have LSY in barracks just holding on. They have so much map control, actually. They have a clue. It has to be B eventually, right? So, I mean, it could also be mid, let's be fair, but you can tell they're kind of favoring B right now, and this is the right call to make. I feel like this is going to be a crucial decision here from you know, the side of Free P. And let's see, once again, Pietro in a good position. Of course, Gainer to help him out. Let's see what the InnerCircle can do. The push will come through. Pietro finds Kiko, but the trade is instantly there. And Jinzer, of course, picks up MKZ as well. Now Gainer in a very crucial spot there. He has to get anything. Just 1, maybe 2 kills would be enough, but not this time around. Look at this! What is happening? Hello, HDC. I mean, that was a little bit awkward for a second, but oh boy, this is slowly but surely falling apart. LSY now last man standing versus 4. Notice that he has no more sun on his face, so that's an improvement, but the grenade will do a little bit of damage to Beck. He's been spotted as well. No need to peek him at all. He can enter the bomb site without being spotted, so this is just a matter of seconds. There you go. Another round for the InnerCircle.
Creeping closer to the finish line. Chance to get it done. Took a long time to get it done, but they have seemed like the better team over the course of this map. They fell apart a bit to allow 3P to get through to that 9-8 scoreline, and then they were just given a gift from the Crossfire gods, I suppose, with Pietro dropping out in that final round of regulation. And it seems like they're not gonna let up. Keep themselves in a good position. Take advantage of that gift.
Back in we go. Now with the side swap. Let's see what will change. We see a very aggressive pace here from Kiko. It pays out as he finds Gainer very early on in this round, giving them the advantage they really were looking forward to. Good start like this. Decision here from the InnerCircle. Now, of course, 3P trying to return the favor here with 1 pick by themselves, but not yet. No one is really over-peaking at all. I like this decision-making once again. Look at Awesome! Oh, he's just crossing like that. He's like, yep, hold on. I need to go towards B here. Never mind. Yeah, no, still dancing a look at HDZ. If he finds Kiko there, this would be a huge kill, but he obviously knows the positioning. Kiko drops down, which is the right thing to do here, and so far we're looking at a very hectic round. We go back and forth all the time. It's only Gainer to go down. But 3P, they really had a good performance for a while, but right now it looks like the InnerCircle, they have a little bit of an upper hand, like Penguin said very early on, right? So let's see what they can do. I mean, Awesome peeks into HDZ, will go down, and this makes numbers more even. The question is, where will they end up to? I mean, Jinser, once again, same positioning. I wonder if they will just, nade stack him, but they don't really have that much utility left. It's only HCZ with the nade, and of course they're gonna check him. And Jinser, this positioning wasn't really the ideal, position you want to have there, but nonetheless, Alucard trying to get something done, and once again, it's taken out. HTZ really putting up these numbers. I mean, 2 frags, very important, and now it's Beck and Kiku in the clutch, though.
Yes, feels impossible. 11 all will be the scoreline. Could even go to a golden round at this point. That's what it feels like. It's a constant back and forth. And Becky's going to take the decision to not go for it and just make that call to allow his teammates to call. Have a chat about the next round. Don't want to use the tech pause, or sorry, attack pause, I should say. Just stay alive and have a conversation. You can see the frustrations across the team. Gainer and Pietro loving life, knowing they're putting their opponents under a lot of pressure. Knowing that Pietro could get some revenge, of course, on his former teammates. I'm sure it ended all amicably, but it's always nice when that comes through. Beck will manage to deal with Gainer at the beginning of the next round straight away. So again, we're in a position like we were at 8-all. Whoever wins this round has an opportunity to get a match point. It looks like it's going to be InnerCircle. Alucard under a bit of pressure behind the site, though. Will miss that shot, but doesn't matter because they are going to retain a 5v3 for now.
InnerCircle will get the upper hand very early on in this round. It's already looking a little bit scary for them. 3P, they need an answer, they need something. Anything could help, just one more player to go down on the side of InnerCircle would help. But I like this decision once again. The InnerCircle, they really play it cool right here. Obviously, they keep it very close, which is unexpected. Again, we talked about it a lot, so not gonna go there again, but they keep it cool, even though these numbers should never ever happen. At least that's what I'm thinking. So InnerCircle, once again, they need to prevent this push from happening. Look at this aggression. No one can really stop them, but Awesome and Kiko in the door here. What can they do? It's only Pietro once again left alone. We will get taken out, and we are pushing till the end. I mean, eventually it has to stop, right? We can't go back and forth all the time, right? So, do you think this is going to be golden round or not?
Oh, wow, it feels like at this point it kind of would be right for it to end at a 12-all, to be honest with you. But InnerCircle will not want that. They want the pressure released from them right here, right now. PingPongPals are looking to keep the pressure up, but they're actually going aggressive toward long here quite quickly in this round. 2 minutes on the clock. We've already got 3 players up. And Awesome, Kiko and Alucard are all here. Flashes will come through. They're very blind as they try and work their way up, though. They do have information where Kiko is, and it's a great pick from HTZ. Awesome's here to deliver. He only gets 1, though, and look at the luck coming through from short. It's going to be perfect. A perfect take of the A bomb side. You couldn't wish for anything better than that. You have perfect timing on the flanker from short to get that kill in toward that spawn position. It's honestly textbook stuff. And we will have a golden round in the first map, the first BO3 of Season 2 in CFWL. Can you believe it?
No. Honestly, no. But we're here right now. Golden round scenario. Look at this aggression here. I love what I'm seeing. Who's going to be the winner of this? I don't know. Heights Pietro, crucial kill. Yes, the pump as well. Oh boy, this is all falling apart. No. Some 3P. They were fighting for so long, and now one crucial mistake. Jinser with the most important kill in the entire set here. He gets it done. He gets another one. Gainer barely standing. 1 HP. I mean, what can they do? What can they do?
Dear.
Awesome. Gets 2 all by himself. MKZ now left alone. And this team is falling apart there.
What a nightmare ending that is. I mean, I think there are 2 things that will kind of break my heart for the sake of PingPongPals. I mean, look at Beck's reaction, right? He kind of hates the fact it's had to go that deep. That is overall a below average performance for them, and they'll know it because it should have been a lot easier. they should have lost. Like, I honestly, I think they would have lost, because look at that round at 9-8. That was a chance. That was a match point for PingPongPals. Even though they lose Pietro due to a disconnection, they even still, after that disconnection, go for that B split and get round 2 entries and take control of the site. And if you had Pietro there to help out in those trades, maybe that would have been a completely different story. But as it is, this is the reality. We're not living in an alternate universe, and InnerCircle will manage to get the win, but in the most unconvincing fashion possible.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, right? This one round where HEZ disconnected, super unfortunate, right? I mean, you never know what could have happened, but again, I'm pretty sure they will kick the air. They will be mad for this one round. But overall, let's be honest, guys, they really put up a great show. Huge shout-outs to 3P, obviously InnerCircle, great players as well. But guys, don't go anywhere. We will go to the desk. See you soon.
Thank you so much, Pandoxon. Thank you again, Travis. Great casting. I don't want to blame it on the disconnect at some point when 3P were gonna win. They were this close to winning, and this kind of highlights how important it is to be at playing at such competitive level. And as you mentioned, Penguin, does the experience make a big difference in this kind of competition?
Yeah, as you said, the disconnections, not only the disconnections, but 3P, they were on the edge. It was 7-2 for InnerCircle, but then 3P managed to come back that few of those rounds. Usually 3P used the fast rounds, and they were not very successful in the fast rounds. Okay, they won only the first round, which they played when it was 7-2, and they did a fast split into A side, and they won it. But after this, all the fast rounds that 3P did it, they lost it. They did a fast round into B side, and they lost. They did 2 times fast rounds into A side, and they still lost it. If they could have managed to maybe chill and slow down things like they used to do, it would have been a different situation. But InnerCircle, these guys, they kept their tempo, they kept their confidence, they played till the at the end of the round, and even on the golden round, when they went to control A side and control A long, they were successful in killing 3P, and this was very, very big question mark on InnerCircle strategies. Why these guys are not taking any of the controls? You usually, if you are playing Black Widow, you would love to take A side control, A long control, B long control, B waters. You would love to have presence on one of these 2 areas, because if you simply leave all the map for the team, it's gonna be very, very hard for you to come back and win the global risk round. So it was very, very strange decisions coming from InnerCircle. I'm pretty sure that their coach is gonna be talking about these things, and they're gonna be discussing that the guys were not really active on the map. InnerCircle, they played the first half perfectly, but then they just struggled in killing and getting the rounds on global risk, because I guess of such mistake is just staying on sites, not actively checking and controlling the map after you have showed a very strong first half. So 3P, they took advantage of this, and they already got their way back from 7-2 to 7-7, even at 7, and they went, yes, and they went to overtime. And talking about the overtime, already we've seen that InnerCircle won 2 or 3 clutches. Without those clutches, let's not mention the disconnection. Let's mention the clutches that Gen won against MKZ and Keiko won against MKZ, also on the blacklist. If they didn't win any of their clutches, 3P would have come on top right now.
Yeah, by at least 3 rounds, to say the least, if you want to calculate in that aspect. I mean, what can I say? I'm not sure where to look. Is it 3P overperforming? Since you know, I don't want to discredit them, or is it InnerCircle under? I don't think it's either. I really think it's the heat of the moment, and I've seen this pattern unfold more than once, that usually if it's 1-1 in the best of 3 series, the third game is usually as hectic as you can see if both teams are relatively similar on the competitive level as a team, as an organization, even as individuals, you know. And you know that some people, like some of these players, have played with each other, so there's a lot of mental game going on between them, and it's kind of frustrating. You could tell Beck's eyes, man, like he was like questioning why did it have to go to golden round. We could have closed this game out way sooner, you know.
Yeah, it's just, it made me worried about InnerCircle. The way Beck looked, like he was like, I'm so tired. And it's just the first series of the season.
Out,
Yes, the first series of the season. He needs to have more energy and power, and the guys needs to have more energy and power. But regarding their performance, I'm saying it's just the first game. InnerCircle will get better time by time. But guess what? Even PingPongPals, they will get better and better, because this game can put them into their confidence, and Pietro is going to be analyzing these guys, and he's going to be adjusting everything for the guys and like trying to help them to get back into the wins. So I'm really worried who's going to be playing PingPongPals next, because it's going to be very scary after this performance. The guys needs to look on their performance, and Pietro, he stepped up so good since Eagle Eye. We've seen the 5v3, 9-8. Pietro opened up 2 kills, his entry. He kills one guy in the boxes. He kills the other on B side, and he opened up the side. But Alucard shots saved InnerCircle today.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, to be honest. And if I am the next team that's going to be up against Triple P or InnerCircle, I would definitely be slightly shaken, because this is a phenomenal performance by both teams. I don't want to say who won or who lost at this point. Yeah, InnerCircle came out on top in this best of 3, but I really think that Triple P won the crowd's hearts.
Yes, they won it, and they got their confidence, and they won the first game mentally, because that's what they wanted to show. They wanted to show that they are not coming from the CFOL just to be a mid-table team. These guys are coming to compete versus the best teams, so they showed and they proved this to us today. But let's not leave the credits to InnerCircle. These guys won. They kept their tempo. I love that these guys, they stayed focused, serious the whole games, and they won it, and they deserve to win.
Yeah, they stuck through 100%. They deserve to win. I'm just saying, in my eyes, and I'm sure some people might agree in the audience, when I just look at InnerCircle's roster, being that where the players are coming from and whatnot, I'm like, yeah, these guys are easy top 4. But then when you look at Triple P, that they just got to this series and stuff, you're like, okay, maybe they should struggle a little bit. But I don't think they struggled at all. It was very minor technical changes that if they managed to adapt,
just one round different.
Yeah,
one round, and PingPongPals might have come on top. So it's just one round for PingPongPals. One of the clutches that Kiko got, or Jin got against MKZ on the blacklist. One of them, HDC disconnection. Also the 5v3 last round before the golden rounds. I mean, before the overtime and going to the golden rounds. So PingPongPals, they were just slightly very close to winning.
It was very close, to say the least. And I hope all the games that we see now and for the foreseeable future are this close, because it keeps us on our toes, you know. You don't want those 10-2, 10-3 kind of games like that. I'm sorry to say, those games are a bit less entertaining. I love watching CrossFire anyways, but once it reaches that stage, it's just a matter of when, not if, you know. When is like, when's this team gonna come out on top? If is if who's gonna come out on top, you know, and that's the question that you enjoy watching here.
Yeah, exactly. And just no more words for PingPongPals. These guys played very good, and also congratulations to InnerCircle winning the first game in the West League. Okay, it was tough, but that's the competition. You need to have more caffeine and energy for all of the next games. Beck, you need to keep the composure, because we've seen that he's almost fell after the game, but the guys, they played very well.
Yeah, I mean, it might be late where he is right now. It's probably like past 9, 10 perhaps. I'm not sure. Anyways, while we're at it, I just have a quick question. Who do you think from the teams that we've seen is going to make it to top 4? Might as well we write it down, right? Or memorize it. I'm just curious. While we have
you
time,
you wanna just guess before the league starts?
Like, is it GG? Is it ROC? Who is it?
It's gonna be so hard, but I'm sure that GG and ROC is gonna come on top.
Yeah.
But the next 4,
the other 2, we can leave it till the next day.
Let's watch the next games, which is gonna be Anubis and TBI. These guys meeting again.
Yeah.
So let's leave it to the next game.
All right. I'm just kind of curious. I want to have an interview, perhaps, if possible, with someone from InnerCircle, because I do have some questions for them, and I'm sure you do as well.
Yeah, I want to just ask this. How was the communication? The feeling, the communication. The talk with the guys were just neck to neck with PingPongPals, and they were one round away of losing the series. And it's the first series. You would love to win all your games against teams who are not really ready to compete. I'm not saying PingPongPals are not, but InnerCircle definitely when they come against PingPongPals, they are the underdogs for it.
And when you look at the set summary and you pay attention to the ratios, if you could do like some quick maths with the KDA, man, it's almost even.
Yeah.
It's almost even across the board. If you calculate Gainer and HTZ against Awesome and Alucards and the less than 1-digit numbers, it's almost even, and that drives me mental. I feel bad for Triple P being in it because at the end of the day they could have won that. Anyways, I want to go to the interview with our boy Awesome here, man, and I'm gonna let you lead this one, Penguin, because I know you're a big fan as well. And we can like ask him a couple of questions.
Yes, Awesome getting his first MVP when his first time stepping in was InnerCircle. It's insane, to be honest, and he showed us an insane performance. And this should make InnerCircle feel more comfortable because these guys, they got him for a reason. Awesome, congratulations on your first win, actually on your first game with InnerCircle. How do you feel? How was the game for you?
Bro, first of all, thank you very much, bro. I mean, I feel great. I like games like that, like when they're like very close and in the end you win it. So, yeah,
it feels great for him.
Definitely,
yeah. So I wanted to ask you a question. How did
Yeah,
you
of course.
guys feel after the Eagle Eye game? What was your thoughts? And did you think that you would go into an overtime, not only overtime, golden round versus PingPongPals? We've seen that you guys won 10-7 first map, and then you lost 10-7 second map. So is it was close that you were deciding or expecting that this game is going to be close, or maybe it's just something out of the papers or your things?
bro, if I'm being honest, like we haven't cracked a lot of Eagle Eye, but yeah, we still thought we're gonna win easy, if I'm being honest. But in the end, it was always getting like closer and closer, and then we lost. So yeah. But as I said, we haven't had like that much break on Eagle Eye. So
Yeah, as he said. So
Fair enough. I respect
Yes.
I respect that, and I have to
overall to play ever Eagle Eye, you know, we never played it in GV. So it's
I have one quick question to jump off topic here. I honestly, as a fan and watching you Awesome in your in last season as well, and watching all of your colleagues, I really wish you the best of luck. And I want to ask, do you guys, are you aiming for top 1?
bro, of course, like
Of
that's
course,
always the
yeah.
goal. And
That's
I think
definitely,
with
yeah,
this
no,
team,
fair.
like we can obviously make it.
Perfect.
Make it.
congratulations once again, man, and we would love to see you winning more and more. And congratulations, the first win for your first game with InnerCircle.
Best of luck,
Thanks, man,
Awesome, and
thanks.
your organization and your future
Best
games.
of luck.
Man. Take care. See you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Wow.
Yes.
What a wonderful individual, man. I swear,
Yes.
a lot of respect. I love his vibe. I love him as a person. He's always focused. He's always
Yes.
in tune. He's honest, you know.
He's
honest.
happy as
And
well.
honesty is the
By
best
the way,
policy.
he was the only one after this game. He was laughing.
He was
He
smiling.
was smiling,
exactly.
laughing. Hey
That's
guys,
my
cheer up! We
observation.
won. It's
Yeah.
over. We got the points. Who
Whether it
cares
was
what
golden
happened?
round or 10-1,
Exactly.
we got the
You want to
points.
sleep losing or sleep winning. So forget about the game. He's
Yeah.
the guy who's hyping them up. So it's really happy to have him. So congratulations for InnerCircle. It's
Let's skip that and jump to game 2, man. Listen, I've done my homework, but I know you've done like the AI deep search. So give it to me. Tell me, what do you know about their history?
yeah, the Egyptian derby right now. TBI versus Anubis. The two Egyptian and the only two Egyptian teams are here on the West League, are meeting again together. These guys, these players, 10 Egyptian players, 10 star players, they're gonna show us one of the most beautiful games now. TBI, Anubis, second place team versus a team that could have been went to Open League.
Yeah,
Unless the
I'm kind of curious
this
about
qualification.
TBI's roster and what happened with TBI. Like,
Yeah, so TBI, they had some changes in the rosters. Of course, me, I left TBI, and they replaced with FaZe, and they got Noxin. I want to highlight something about Noxin. This guy, I saw him playing with me in TBI back of the days, I guess, before announcing the rosters, because I recruited him to be one of our substitute players.
yeah.
But then he asked to go and play in the CFO. Well, this guy, he played one season only. And
He's
he's
exceptional,
one of
yeah.
the best players, I'm saying, in the region right now.
Really?
His second entry is going after King. I want to see this guy, how he's going to be performing. And not to mention as well, FaZe, this guy, the most beautiful sniper in EU. Now he's joining one of the biggest organization in Egypt, so it's challenging for him. But I'm pretty sure that this guy can also, not only can win with the guys, but he can also push them into wins.
To securing
Yes.
and playing better, to say the least. Yeah, I mean, if FaZe was on my side in the team, I wouldn't be worrying that much about what the outcome might be, right? Or my gameplay. It's just gonna encourage me to want to play better. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about Anubis, and then I want to jump to like who's beaten who in the past.
Anubis, we can't say much about these guys. They are staying the same roster, the same coach. They are having everything stable. These guys got second place, so they don't need to change. So I guess no need to talk about these guys. These guys showed us that they are second place, and they go neck to neck also versus ROC to map 5 port in season 1. So these guys are coming here and as the upper hand in the upset.
All right, what about the maps?
I'm pretty sure that New Mexico is gonna be banned. We might go for some of the maps like Subbase.